Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast, I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what is meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited, like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
I'm on the mission, snap any minute, casually winning. Stop tripping on me, stop dissing on me. Yeah, I got a dream, can't take it from me. My fire's burning, now I'm always learning. Tell me where to go, man, I'm on a journey. Yeah, I can't explain it, I get excited. Keep it 300, King Leonidas. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have the spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. work too hard to get here.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true. Where everything you want can be yours. If and only if you're willing to work for them. You're willing to hurt for them. But most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha. Yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what is meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You want to compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first.
After months of preparation and battle scars earned along the way, the day has finally come. But only one clan can wear the crown, and I think it's about time we find out which clan that is. It's time for the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals.
Till a player on top, know it. Rooftop, penthouse suite. If you really want it, gotta own it. Fight through it, we was at the lowest. Blood, sweat, tears, the components. Riding all year, now's the moment. We are not afraid, we are opponents. Yeah, I'm coming for mine. Yeah, I'm making a play, the game on the line. Yeah, I've been on the grind. Yeah, I jump in the spot, I made it my time. Yeah, look in the sky. Yeah, the stars align, no shade to shine. Can't stop it already, emotional, working devotion. We put in this time, look.
You won't stop.
Yes, welcome to the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Finals. My name is Barney Banks and I am your host, and today we will be crowning the North America champions. It's going to be absolutely incredible, and I am joined in this incredible studio by two of the spiciest shirts in the West. It's unbelievable. I feel like an infection is spreading this way, and it just hasn't quite got to me yet. I mean, Eric, look at this shirt. How are you feeling today? You feeling bright?
I mean, I was inspired by Bash to get the floral prints going on here. I mean, it's rubbing off and it's getting your way, like you said, so I guess we'll see. But before that even happens, I mean, we got to crown a champion here, so I'm looking forward to this today.
That's right. I mean, has the update caused an upset yet in your mind?
I think that it is full steam ahead as normal. I think it is about what we've been seeing prior to the update there, with a couple extra little twists there, and it is interesting to see the new road champion equipment and the overgrowth used a little bit yesterday, and I hope we see a little bit more of it today.
Bash, we chat about army comps, don't we? We like a lot of variety in what we see on the screen. But, you know, are there any comps or troops that you're expecting to see a lot more of that we might see today?
Honestly, I felt like we got a pretty good mix of things. I mean, we even saw some E-Drags, Super Drags, regular Dragons, so it felt like we got a really good mix. I wouldn't mind seeing Loki do another Overgrowth attack.
Yes.
No pressure, Loki. Do what you need to do to a 3-star, but that was actually really cool seeing the new spell used successfully.
Yeah, we like to see all of the new update elements being used as much as possible because, you know, it's just fun for us. Something new, something fresh on screen. Now, before we chat about our upcoming matches, make sure that you follow us across all of our socials because we're pretty active on there. We like to update you guys with highlights, the best bits, all that jazz. So just check the lower third of your screen to look at your variation of ESL Mobile and your chosen platform where it is situated. And so, gentlemen, we've got to talk a little bit about what's coming up. Eric, let's talk about yesterday, actually. We had some spicy matches, that is for sure. We've had some sort of disconnect from about a month ago. We had the challenge season, and we've had all this time, and then an update has dropped as well. So I was slightly worried that coming into this, everything would shift, everything would be flipped on its head. But instead, we had perfect war after perfect war. What's going on?
Yeah, very different from what we saw in the challenge finals, or in the challenge season, I mean, before the finals started. Because we saw a lot of perfect wars yesterday, a lot of very, very high offense, and time becoming a very, very significant factor here. And you definitely see the players shifting into the meta, finding out exactly what works there, but not just what works fast. And that's what a lot of the wars came down to yesterday, Bash.
Yeah, I mean, we had a total in 4 wars of 3 missed attacks. One was a 99% time fail because the Phoenix just wouldn't get over the wall. I mean, we started the day with SE Esports going up against Method of Madness in a perfect war. I mean, if you're Method of Madness, you gotta be like having a little bit of heartbreak because they had to go down to the lower bracket and then they had that one mistake that ended up costing them their tournament.
Yeah, that's crazy. That one single mistake there could end up knocking him out of the competition. But then United Gaming took on Underworld X in that upper bracket semifinals. And that one was, if I remember right, a double perfect war, right?
No, it was
14-15.
Yeah, remember Loki had that early miss.
You're right, yeah. Like what? Because he forgot his Overgrowth.
Because he forgot the Overgrowth.
He wanted
that's the only reason I know is Loki. I'm not trying to pick on him, but that's the only reason I know.
Yeah, because he was trying to break out the Overgrowth there, and he messed up his spell composition and didn't have what he needed to be able to get that done. So very interesting that it came that close, but in the end, United Gaming was able to lock in that win, and they were able to move on to the upper bracket finals there, where they got to face against SE Esports. We can see the final score there, the final attack going in from Ninja right there as they locked up their perfect war, and they were pretty fast as well. And I think that even when they already had a defense there, they still kept their attack speed fast because they needed to prepare for that upper bracket finals. But down in the lower bracket, we did see our first elimination there with Method to Madness.
Yeah, Method to Madness going up against Underworld X, and it was just one mistake. Underworld X had a really solid war, but Method to Madness ended up getting knocked out. It was both 14-14, but that took us to our upper bracket final where we had United Gaming going against SE Esports in an absolute sprint. Double perfect wars came down to a difference of, I believe, 4 seconds average attack time per attack. So those guys were cooking. United Gaming just cooking a little bit quicker.
Speed seems to be the key word over the past weekend, and it's just absolutely phenomenal to see the level that we have here at the challenge finals. Now, Bash, we're going to stick with you because we're also at the end of the road in this competition, right? And so with the end of the road, that means that the main bulk of the prize pool is up for grabs and it awaits our winners. So why don't you take us through the prizes that are up for grabs in the challenge finals?
Yeah, we got the right graphic here today, guys. We had the wrong one yesterday, but that's okay. Our winner today will take home $20,000 US to their team. Second place, no slouch either, with $10,000. Third place, so the loser of our first match today will be taking home $6,000, and then Method to Madness walked away with $3,000, which for playing Clash of Clans, that's a pretty nice prize.
Crazy to like drop one attack and then to have to leave in 4th place. Like Method to Madness had like such a great showing, especially in their opening war, going perfect and just losing out on time. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, people. So now let's check out the bracket as it stands at this point. Also, if you're tuning in and you haven't been able to catch up with everything so far, let's take a quick look at the bracket. And again, if you missed it, Method to Madness, once again, they were sent packing, but Underworld X was sent into the lower bracket with a perfect war, and they just missed out on the time, like we'd already mentioned. So we have Underworld X and SE Esports in the lower bracket final, which will be happening very shortly. And awaiting the winner of that match is United Gaming, who are already in one of those grand final positions. And as you can see, there is a little 1 next to United Gaming. That means they have a 1-match lead going through from the upper bracket. And so essentially it is a best of 3 situation, meaning that if the loser bracket team wins once they get to the grand final, they will have to win again in a bracket reset. Wowza, that's going to be absolutely phenomenal to see if it happens. Obviously, we have no idea, but I feel like from what we've seen so far, it's just down to these small margins, these small mistakes being the only reason why a lot of these teams are kind of crumbling and going into the lower bracket, which seems so minuscule, but these are the margins we're talking about, Eric.
Absolutely. And I was talking with SE Esports after their match yesterday, and they're confident that if they can get through Underworld X and get back into another match with United Gaming, that they could play just a little bit faster there. We saw some of the crazy things that they did in the matches that were outside of the tournament. They had some attacks that were like sub 1 minute. Like sub 1 minute attacks there with like some Electro Dragons and stuff like that. So we know that they can go faster, and they're confident that if they can get there again and force that bracket reset, that they can win this thing from the lower bracket.
So do we feel, Bash, that basically in this current state of this meta, this offensive heavy meta, do we feel like almost a lot of these players, their hands are being forced to create an army comp that is mainly directed at speed? Because otherwise, you know, if you go perfect, you're still going to be sent packing.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we saw from United Gaming in that upper bracket final. Was they kind of went away from some of those core armies we've seen them using and started using Super Dragons, Electro Dragons. Those dragon attacks just move so quickly. And then, I mean, even Jesus' final attack.
The Hail Mary at the end.
I've never seen him use E-Drags, but he went for the E-Drags. It was like a minute, 20-something attack. And so you have to go fast, especially like when you know the opponent's probably going to put up a perfect also. But like Eric and I talked about, that could force mistakes. So that's something to keep an eye on today.
Yeah, so when the pressure's this high in this situation, do you feel like coming into the lower bracket final and then the grand final, they're going to be focusing more on just getting the triples? Or do you feel like the focus is going to actually be on speed, Eric?
I think that you initially need to make sure that you keep the speed up, and then whoever buckles first there when they can't get the triples done fast or they just miss a triple, then they can slow things down and start to rethink their strategy. But I think initially you can't get too far behind on time because a lot of these wars are coming at when you're playing at this level. Not very many teams are able to play at this level to consistently get those perfect wars, but these 3 teams really are hitting a lot of them, and that's why they're here today.
I've got to say as well, an honorable mention from yesterday, Loki. What a comeback from obviously making that mistake that we spoke about earlier, but coming back, using the overgrowth spell from the update and absolutely clutching it up. And obviously one of the main things you were mentioning as well, Bash, was it was about timing, isn't it? Yep. Timing of the overgrowth spell is absolutely paramount, because if you place it down too late and you go past the overgrowth spell, then you're pinched.
Yeah, and then you have all the defenses fire on you from both sides, and then in the middle where the overgrowth, it could be really messy, but he seemed to time it up really nicely. But the big thing here today, I think you really got to focus on getting that 3-star like Eric mentioned, but really like 2 minutes has to be that mark. It's crazy to think about, but really you can't go much slower than a 2-minute attack today.
Wow, for those of you at home who are watching, bear that in mind. 2-minute attacks is kind of what we're looking at, anything over, and it could be a little bit dicey unless mistakes are made. Now, we are fast approaching our first war of the day, like we've mentioned, and we're kicking things off in the lower bracket, in our lower bracket final, and that's going to be Underworld X taking on SE Esports, fighting for survival, both of them in this competition. One will advance to our final up against United Gaming. But for now, Bash, I'm thinking that just throw the kitchen sink at your opponent at this point. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, we kind of saw it in that last war where you just lay it all out there, go as quick as possible, and we're going to have to see how Underworld X handles that, because they really haven't had that situation yet where they've had to really go for speed. But if they were watching yesterday, which I'm sure they were, they know SE Esports is going to probably put up a perfect, and it's probably going to be quick.
And I mean, I say that because people may think, oh, you know, after speaking to some of the pro players, sometimes they often say, oh, we save this comp or we save this base for a particular matchup, and it's like, you can't do that. This is do or die. You lose this war and you go home, Eric.
Absolutely, and I mean, I feel like where it really comes down to these attacks that have to be so fast is that you're just trying to do so many different things at the same time. Even like in the more intricate attacks, you're seeing so much multitasking, and it does ramp up the difficulty rapidly on even relatively simple attacks when you have to do it at that speed and your spell placement has to be perfect. It is fast, it's chaotic, and there's a lot of money on the line to make it work. But it looks like, are we into the first one?
This is recap from yesterday.
Gotcha. Recap from yesterday, yeah. I mean, I've got to give a kind of a mention, let's say, Underworld X, right? Speaking about them, they seem to thrive under pressure, or they totally buckle. They're either going to smash it or fall apart. That's kind of, I'm looking at this from, you know, from a paper perspective. What I've seen on paper throughout the challenge season and leading into now, obviously I don't know what they're all thinking, but if they're on form today, this could be a sensational opening War Bash.
Yeah, it's an interesting match.
The reaction.
No, I say that because like I feel like out of these three teams, Underworld X may be the one that could be baited a little bit more. Maybe they're a little bit more predictable, and that's not a bad thing because they have strategies that 3-star and they know how to 3-star. I'm not like saying that in a negative light, but if you know. SE Esports could maybe take advantage of that, find a flaw in something they saw yesterday, maybe bait something with an overgrowth or something. Maybe it works against them. So that's something to keep their eye on here today. We know SE Esports is well-versed in a lot of strategies, but in this meta, it's just pretty much throw whatever against the wall and see what sticks, right?
I'm going to do one of those things that we hate to do, but it's going to happen. Let's have a prediction.
Oh, boy.
I want a star count. I want everything, the whole enchilada. Give it to me.
I predict on this match here, I'm guessing the SE Esports will go perfect, and I don't think that Underworld X will. I'm calling 14 stars on them.
Calling some baits.
It's still good, which is still like
it's 14
very like
stars, yeah.
world class right there, you know.
Crazy. Bash, what about yourself?
I mean, that was kind of my thought process too. I'm going 15-14 for SE Esports, or maybe even a 15-15, but I think time will be in favor of SE. I think time,
I agree.
SE has that, they have that knack for going quick when they need to. I mean, we saw it where they ramped up those last few attacks yesterday. So Underworld X, I don't think had to really face that pressure yet. And I'm not trying to write Underworld X off here. Just my gut feeling.
Hey Zeus, make sure you keep those E-Drags in your back pocket because we are ready for this lower bracket final. It's going to be an absolutely spicy one, so make sure you grab the popcorn. It's going to be unbelievable, rest assured. So, Bash and Eric, make your way over to the desk, please, and get ready for Underworld X taking on SE Esports in our lower bracket final.
Here we go, Eric. Match number 1. We got 2, potentially 3 matches today if there is a bracket reset. This is, of course, an elimination matchup. I mean, technically, all of our matches have potential for elimination. Eric, can I just say, like, the floral print, we are just... It's a vibe today, brother. It's a vibe today, man.
I mean, one word that Banks has been using a lot today here that describes it perfectly, spicy.
Oh, boy.
But, yeah, this is going to be a wild match here. Definitely looking forward to this. We've seen some, a little bit, I love to see that overgrowth here. I just really was happy to see that out of Underworld X, and it makes me excited to see how he uses it again. If he uses it with the Root Riders and the Valkyries again, or if we see something different. But either way, I think we're in for a very, very good match here, and everyone needs to keep their pedal to the metal there and go for speed. Let's kick this off here in the lower bracket finals. Underworld X and SE Esports are underway. Loki kicking us off today, and we're seeing the overgrowth right out of the gate here as he broadsides it into the defensive queen, go to the scatter shot, and it is a centered town hall in the space here, so you should be able to get to it relatively easy, but I'm very curious to see where he puts that overgrowth, and look at that! He's gonna take out the Eagle Artillery area and push everybody towards the town hall and lock down that Eagle Artillery so it's not firing on him as he makes his way forward.
This will be a really good job to get these roots funneled inside. The king did pop to the left, but the one thing to keep your eye on is once this overgrowth fades, that rage tower is going to go off. These ricochet cannons are going to be firing. The multi-target infernos are going to be firing. So he really needs to get through this town hall and as much of this beef as possible. There goes the overgrowth fading, so now all those defenses are going to be freed up. But it is a really nice time as that warden ability goes off. King's working up top. It looks like the timing is fine here.
I like that a lot. Using the warden to basically, because he was locking all those defenses out, he's able to save his warden ability until he got to the town hall, and then he had the warden ability for the split when he was in that crossfire. Quickly splitting off here. Queen goes invisible. Giant bombs going off that area, but the Queen quickly handled that area. King on the outside of the base there. Root Riders over to the right. He's looking pretty good here, and time is fast on this one. He just needs to get these Root Riders over to the left side and get those final defenses down, and the World Champion clearing out of the right. He's got the RC ability still on standby. I didn't see what equipment that she was using there, but he's still going to get up to the very top of the base there to get that quarter hut out of the way. But he's going to have troops heading up there right now. There we go. There's that haze mile. She surges up there. She's got it under control, and Loki X locking in the first triple. Holy cow, the road champion surges all the way back across the base and takes the final strike. And that one, what was that? A minute and 20 left on the clock?
Minute 18 I saw. Minute 18. There you go, Loki.
Wow.
Hey, is Loki part of a Floral Gang print here? Look at Loki's shirt.
I like it.
Attaboy, Loki. Way to redeem yourself after that mess. I'm kind of curious how that first attack would have went if he had his overgrowth. It seems like he's found something with this overgrowth spell. He's got that timing down. Yeah, this is hilarious. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Hops in there and takes it out. So a 3-star with a minute 18 left on the clock. That is a very fast attack. We were talking about Underworld X didn't necessarily have to face the clock yesterday, but they are aware of it, and we see it right there with a super quick attack.
Yeah, and I like that. Using that as the opening attack of the war to get the early pressure on with a very, very fast attack and just show SE Esports that they cannot slow down in this match here. And with the performance that Underworld X has had in yesterday, like, you know that they're going to be moving fast today, and they're all warmed up. Like, yesterday is just a warm-up for today, because now the real competition starts, as they're only going to have very, very difficult opponents ahead here if they're able to make it through this match.
Eric, one thing I wanted to mention in the open, and I forgot about it until just this moment. I mean, SE here is in here in an elimination match with 2 perfect wars yesterday.
Right.
It's crazy to think about. They could technically get knocked out with 3 perfect wars.
Imagine.
That would be crazy. I mean, obviously, they're going to try their hardest to win it, go fast, and get the victory. But the meta right now is just crazy OP offensively. Underworld X sets the bar really nice, 118. So if you're just tuning in today, we had 2 perfect wars. And if you know esports, if you know war in general, you win on stars first, and then you win on percent. If those are tied, or a double perfect war, everything's tied, it comes down to time for that 3rd tiebreaker. So that's why you're going to hear us talking about time a ton tonight.
Yeah, I mean, normally I wouldn't harp so much on time, but these teams are playing on a very, very high level here in this competition. And like, it is insane how many perfect wars that we're seeing at these later stages of the tournament. And when we're into the final 3 teams in North America, then that does make a lot of sense there. But it is time to dive in. Damien gonna go in with, looks like Zap, Root Rider, and Super Barbarian attack, running the healer puppet on the queen, but we'll go ahead and set up with the heroes with a couple of super barbarians to provide a little bit of a funnel there, taking out some key defenses. More super barbarians up at the top of the base there to drive the king in to go fight off the defensive queen. And this queen is just going to run opposite, and he's going to split the base there with the lightning so that the king can do his job up there, the queen can do her job down south there. But I think the most important thing here is to get the queen to join with the Root Riders, so she's not just going to die out in that carbon after the Eagle Artillery, but he wants her to get the protection of the Root Riders and then surge across the base of the town hall. And the king is just on his own solo mission up top.
Yeah, and the king should be able to take out all that compartment, or pretty much most of all of that compartment. Here come those Root Riders in. And the one thing is, you can't hesitate too long. You can't do a long setup right now. It's crazy to think about. That's why we're not seeing a whole lot of queen charges. We're not seeing a whole lot of, like, you know, unique entries. It's really get a little bit with your heroes, send in the roots, send in the Lalo, whatever you're doing, and then get going. Battle Blimp will come in for the Town Hall. Does have those roots working that'll join up with the Queen here. Does have 16 Super Barbarians as well. Yeti Bomb out of the Clan Castle, which will take that Town Hall down without any issue right there. Take a look at some of those new Tesla levels there for Panda X on defense, but now he's going to get everything cooking and getting up through the middle of the base. King to get taken out, but he's got a lot of offense left.
There's the queen popping her healer puppet there. The healers immediately change off of her and switch over to the Root Riders, which will give them the support that they need. However, the Teslas are drawn over to where the king left off. Their Road Champion is kind of on her own going to the backside of the base to go deal with that area. He's got the defensive king in that area. He's got ground expos, but he's going to swarm in Headhunters, swarm in Super Barbarians, use the rest of his spells right there, and try to give the Road Champion as much tanking as he can as he waits for reinforcements from the Grand Warden and those Root Riders. But the RC has to finish the job here. What kind of equipment does she have here? She's going to go ahead and
pop it, Damien.
Just go ahead and pop your ability, whatever you're doing here. He's going to pop it now. He throws a Road Champion Seeking Shield, gets some life restoration, and that does get the rest of the defenses down. Queen steps through, and it is 58 seconds left on the clock here for Damien. That is going to be a lead here out of the gate for Underworld X.
Yeah, it's really weird that 58 seconds, and it's like, oh no. He went slower than 2 minutes, Eric. He went slower than 2 minutes. So with that being said, Underworld X will have approximately 20 seconds. One disclaimer, as we are talking about times here, they're unofficial. These are just times we're observing. We might be off by a second or two. We will always, if that time situation comes up, we will always wait for official word from our broadcast team.
Absolutely. But I mean, in a moment's notice, you could have all the time quickly become irrelevant, if even a single building is left on the board and anybody ends up having a mistake. And you just kind of have, I think the key to defense in this meta right now is to try to just bait an entry, try to predict what they're going to do, and then try to quickly get a mistake that then snowballs into a bigger and bigger and bigger mistake there. Because I think that the only thing that can really stop a lot of these attackers right here is just really, really good trap placement, because these guys are experts at breaking down a base. They can not only just triple the base there, but they can get it done obviously very, very fast as well. And so you have to find a way to trip them up. You gotta get the trap set in a way that they are going to cascade mistakes and ultimately end up with a fail because of it. So that's a very difficult thing to do. And I think the base building team on SE does have a little bit more advantage in that area because they have a strong base building team behind their org.
And that's what we saw with a few of the misses yesterday. It was just like one little mistake and then it snowballed, and then you're trying to recover it. I'm just thinking of the multi-archer tower and the multi-target inferno from Lord Kirk's attack. Those two buildings, if he gets those down, that attack is crushed, but you miss those few buildings with the Royal Champion and the Queen, and then you're just panicking, you're trying to figure it out, and that's what Eric's talking about there with the snowball. Panda X is up next for us, and it's going to be Root Riders, the Valkyries. A couple skeleton spells in there, pretty traditional setup here. Is really going to set up the funnel here on the top side with a couple of those P.E.K.K.A.s coming out of the Siege Barracks. Remember, the recent buff to the Siege Barracks, you now get 2 P.E.K.K.A.s along with all those wizards, then your Clan Castle troops. He is using the King on that bottom flank. A lot of times you want the King in the middle with everything, so we'll see if he's able to join up here, but everything is in, and he's going to make his way across this base.
It looks like the King may end up going to the middle of the base there. The flanks are under control here. He's got to get the defensive heroes on the left and right side under control, and looks like he's got the left side mostly under control with all the wizards. Queen over the right side, still a little bit of she's kind of up in the air right now, but now we see Valkyries coming out of the flame, or out of the siege barracks, I mean, from the top part of the base. They're going to get the scatter shot down. He is engaging the defensive Queen, frees up to give the extra support right there, and we are seeing a lot of single Infernos on this base trying to shut down their Root Riders, trying to just zap them out so they can't just heal through it. And overall, still moving very, very quick through the base here, and he's got a lot of force going towards the town right now, and there is an extra heal spell on top of the force he already had to reinforce it and get everybody back some HP right now.
Yeah, healing up the King right there will be really nice. Obviously, with the King going to ability here, he'll crush that Town Hall. Does have the Queen and the Royal Champion working in tandem here. Does have to circle back to the top of the base, but he did a really good job with the cleanup in behind. You see that Wizard in there working, but the Queen pops outside, so she'll be able to help out with a little bit of cleanup. And this one's just going to be about how fast can he go, and it's looking really good as far as the time goes. Does still have Royal Champion ability, so he can use that just to speed things up a little bit here to finish this base off.
A minute and a half just surpassing right now here. He's got a couple more Root Riders over there where the Royal Champion is working, so she'll go all the way to the final defense there. I'm kind of curious to see what kind of equipment she has, but she pops the Seeking Shield right there and is able to get all of the lighter buildings on the backside of the base down. And look at the speed again on this one here. This one is coming in sub 2 minutes. I saw 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock, and still they are keeping that speed up there, and they are ahead of the pace of SE Esports right now.
1 minute 9 seconds, that's what I got. But right there, right there's where he could really use that haste vial, and he could have got it with 1 minute 10 seconds instead of the hog puppet there. He didn't really need those hogs. The Royal Champion made it through really nice and clean. Just a well-executed attack. That's what I like about this Root Valk attack. If you do it right, you pretty much just destroy the base and levels, and you just kind of work your way and progress through that base, and you just have a little bit of cleanup there at the end. Beautiful attack by Panda X. Eric, Underworld X, I mean, they know what's on the line here, and they are cooking on these attacks so far. I mean, both attacks sub 2 minutes.
Yeah, very, very, very fast. And I mean, you're seeing a little bit of variety there. Like the attacks were relatively similar, but the spam Root Riders right now, very, very strong in the meta. And if you can just find the angle to be able to break that base down, then you can get through it very fast. And you won't have your Root Riders clump up too much in one area. You get an even spread of them throughout the base there. And then they just move through like a wave, like you were saying. You just have an even wave going all the way across the base evenly. And that way you don't have to circle back and go to an area. You don't have anything shooting you from behind as well, unless you run the overgrowth and then do it on purpose like we saw out of Loki earlier.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if we see any Electro Dragon, Super Dragon attacks from either of these teams, because we saw United Gaming kind of make that adjustment yesterday. They're aware of the double perfect situation that could come up. They made that adjustment, ran, what, 2 Super Dragon attacks, 2 Electro Dragon attacks against SE Esports, and ultimately that's what made them a little bit quicker. It is a little bit risky getting out of your comfort zone, but I mean, you talked about it, Eric. SE Esports, they had, what, a 57-second attack from Dobbs? Is that what you said?
Yeah, when they were playing over in VA Esports in their other roster for the international tournaments, Dobbs ran a 57-second E-drag attack, which is the fastest I have seen. And they sent me the war logs for that, and that was pretty insane. But let's get into BJG Baller. SE Esports got to keep the speed up here. We're running that healer puppet. We are going to see a Lalo here. Zap Lalo is one of the fastest attacks in the game right now. I don't know exactly what is the absolute most fast attack, but you got to keep the pace up there, and you got to make sure that you triple first and foremost. And so that'll come before we worry about the speed, because if you end up with a single Mista, then it could throw off the entire war. But it looks like he's going to get that King to go in there and get the Eagle Artillery down. He can also kind of splash off of that Eagle Artillery and hit the multi-archer tower, which is really nice, and could potentially get the defensive road champion down with the same amount of splash damage. But he does clear the compartment there, and he's going to get that defensive road champion. I'm not really worried about that, but look at the value he's getting out of the King. And the Queen just making her way south here, going to get the scatter shot under control. Super Barbarian's down there supporting, and with half of the base there wiped out by the Lightning, the King and the Queen, now it's time for the Lala to make its way forward.
And with the King's Giant Gauntlet, he's just a one-man wrecking crew. We see it there. Here come the Clan Castle troops out. He does catch a Tornado Trap, but Yeti Bomb goes ahead and takes it out. It's a bunch of archers in here. That's a very interesting choice on this defense here. We're usually seeing a lot of ice golems out, but this is a ton of archers, which actually take the Phoenix out. Could slow down a Lalo a little bit as the Queen's on the bottom side, but the Lalo is sweeping through here.
Archers doing a lot.
Yeah, those archers are doing really good with the one ice golem. There's just really nothing in there to slow them down.
Yeah, I mean, they took out the balloons that were going to the monolith right there, so now he's got to have the other half of the group there split off to go into the area. Looks like he's going to get that under control here, but he does have the skeleton spell right there, and the archers are all trying to shoot the skeleton. They're all trying to shoot the same skeleton, so they have lost all of their progress, so that's doing good work there. And then the Queen with the healer puppet down south was able to survive into the end, and that's making this also speed up here. This one is going to give a little bit of time back there, but it's still going to be a time advantage for Underworld X.
Yeah, I think I saw 1:13 there, so they will gain 4 seconds back, but Underworld X's advantage is still about 15-16 seconds here. So we're sticking with the perfect so far. Man, those archers, I thought that was a bad decision. I'm not going to lie to you, but actually those archers did quite a bit of work, maybe slowed it down just a little bit. That could have been a 1:20 remaining attack there.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes when you have the attack being rushed like this, where you were trying to do so many different things at the same time. We are trying to get the Lalo moving, but your heroes aren't even done. Your King hasn't really engaged the full CC, either has your Queen. And when you're trying to do that many things at once, you could easily have the defensive Clan Castle troops get out of control and then come out and wreck you. But in that case, he was able to just kind of lock him down with that skeleton spell, which ended up working out very nice. And that was just removing them from the equation enough that he was able to get the balloons to have them off their back.
Yeah, I actually adjusted my time there as I saw 1:12 remaining on the clock. So they do gain 3 seconds back, but it's still approximately 17-second advantage on the World X. I know we're harping on it, and you guys are probably sick of hearing it, but I mean, we saw it twice yesterday. I know it seems ridiculous to be keeping track of time 4 attacks into the war, but we saw it twice yesterday, so we have to do it until that first miss does come. Omaksu X is coming in with his Zap Lalo, very professional with this attack. We've seen him doing some really wonderful things with it. Does have the frozen arrow there on the Queen. Go with the Flame Flinger. This could be a little bit of a slower setup. You can't really wait too long for the Flame Flinger. Does have that Hog Puppet on the Royal Champion as well.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of Hog Puppet out of Underworld X there. I feel like I see more use of Hog Puppet from Den than I've seen like of any other team combined. I feel like the only people that I've seen outside of Underworld X that have actually been breaking out the Hog Puppet was like Pete Castro from Navi. So like it's kind of crazy there that they're the only team that's really using it. But it looks like he's getting the mortar under control. They're
bunch of skeletons.
Ground skellies though. Okay, keep an eye on those. Is he going to do anything about that? Does he have... What? Okay, well, that's going to cost him some time at a bare minimum. He does get an Archer Minion down now, but he lost a lot of HP on that, and that's going to prevent him from getting down the Ricochet Cannon with the Flame Flinger, and that is going to cost him time. That could potentially complicate whatever's over there, and those are the small mistakes that can snowball into bigger mistakes and cause a miss overall in the war. But I guess we'll see what happens here. As he does get the King to go to the Town Hall, and the Queen is circling towards the middle of the base.
All right, King gets that Town Hall under control. Splashes actually takes out both those X-Bows. King goes to Phoenix. King's actually struggling a little bit with this Town Hall. Queen goes to ability here. She's going to have to deal with this RC. This is our first attack where we're seeing a little bit of struggle from either of these teams so far. Matsu is sending the Lalu, is going to have to send in the Royal Champion or Headhunters. It actually sends in both for this enemy Queen. And keep an eye on the back end of this base. It's pretty nasty. A lot of splash over there to really deal some damage to these balloons.
I'm really concerned with that Lava Hound and the Rocket Balloon staying standing, that have the Lava Hound leading ahead of the defensive Rocket Balloons, and that means the Royal Champion locked on to that Hound. It's going to take her a minute to burst through it. She does get through it now, but now she's going to potentially get hit by the Rocket Balloon, so I'm very, very concerned about that because we need to have her in action to be able to clear out the other side of the base. She can survive with the Spirit Fox right there because the single Infernos never can go full beam because their charge-up time is longer than the invisibility cycle on that Spirit Fox, but she does get back into action here, and she's going to have the Hog Pump to be able to carry her in, and she's going to, just pop it down, get those Hogs out front, more damage output, more tanking output, protect the Blues. Blues are looking fine. He's got it, but it is going to be a little bit on the slower side here, so if there was an opportunity to strike, this is it for SE if they want to make up that time and take an advantage.
33 seconds remaining, so about 2:27 on the clock on that attack, and it was a really nice attack, but it's 2:27. It's like, oh boy, that's slow. What the heck is going on, Eric? I'm over here like, oh my God, he just missed so big because he didn't go 2 minutes.
I know.
It's ridiculous. I love the 3 stars, don't get me wrong, but it's so ridiculous that if you're slower than 2 minutes, you may have cost your team big.
Yeah, it's like almost treating a 2.5 minute triple as a fail.
Yeah,
you know,
that's exactly how it feels too.
It's funny because I talk to people who are like not hardcore clashers like myself, and they're like, oh yeah, I got a 2-star. I'm like, I'm so good at my war or whatever. I'm like, no, only 3 stars matter. And here I'm thinking, no, only fast 3 stars matter. You know, it's like the goalposts keep on changing, and right now the goalposts are like way out in the middle of the field or something like that. I don't even know.
Yeah, but I mean, the one positive thing here is he didn't miss, because there was a moment there where that was looking a little bit shaky. Did get it back under control, brought it back for a 3-star. Yeah, only 33 seconds remaining on the clock, so a little bit slower, but he still got that 3-star. They were already up 17 seconds, so really, I mean, you add that 17 seconds, it's like a 2-minute, 10-second attack. So it's not as bad with the lead they had.
Yeah, but this is what SE was waiting for. You just got to keep the pace up there the best you can, and then you just wait for some kind of an opportunity to slip ahead there. And what's interesting is if you do start to get a significant advantage on time, then the other team will then start to try to rush their attacks even more to try to make up for that time, and that's where we see the most of the mistakes happening. So like we see them forced into attacks that they may not be comfortable with, and not every player is comfortable with just full sending every single attack there and can multitask quickly enough there to be able to manage those high-paced attacks, and that's where the challenge ends up being.
Yeah, I don't remember if it was Max or Van yesterday, but remember like started the Root Rider attack and had the hero over here, and
I know
Root's going over here, Max. The other hero over there, and it was just flying through, and it's like normally you take like 5-10 extra seconds and just let those funnels establish, but you just don't have that time, especially like the way United was playing yesterday. They were flying, so that's something in the back of their head. I mean, they've had to deal with it. I don't know if we see it today, but so far it is pacing for a fast war. One super wizard in this comp for Max is he's got Root Riders, Super Barbarians, and the Zap, zapping out the Monolith and the Spell Tower right there, getting that invisibility spell out early. And here we go, full send here with all those Root Riders right up the middle.
Yeah, just got to get the area with the Rage Tower dealt with out of the gate, and with other Invisibility Tower already gone, he will have a Skeleton spell that he can use to help with the single Infernos on the backside of the base there, or he can reinforce around it defensive hero. But what's tricky here is he's going to end up potentially with a split of his troops here. He's got a Siege Breaks working down south. He's going to get the Town Hall down. That's obviously not a problem. The CC will stall him up a bit as he sees rocket balloons and lets a headhunters pop out of there. But he's going to quickly deal with that. That's not going to be a problem at all. And I mean, it's just a matter of, does he split properly as he goes through the Town Hall, or do things end up with a weak area that ends up getting picked off? Queen does go to ability over to the right side of the Ricochet Cannon, is bouncing through it, may end up taking her out after that if he doesn't get it down, but he does get it down, and everybody's starting to regroup now, so we start to recover his pacing.
Underworld X with some really interesting CC choices so far for what we've seen in this meta. It seems like Ice Golems have been the way to kind of slow down just a few seconds on these ground attacks, but Underworld X has just kind of ran rocket loons, headhunters, archers, just a little bit of a hodgepodge in here. But this one is very quick for Max. Look how quick this, oh my goodness.
Wow.
140 on the, wow.
Oh, I mean, that's how you make a statement right there.
That was over before it started, it felt like.
1 minute and 20 seconds on that one. And he got it done quick. I mean, that's how you move. I mean, also running the original Royal Champion equipment there with the Royal Gem and the Seeking Shield just to pop it right at the end there to get the last couple bullets down a little bit faster. I'm still not sure which one ends up being faster or better in the meta, but man, you got to go faster, and they are cruising with this attack right here. I like the lightning being used with this. It was a little bit different than what we saw with the overgrowth, and overgrowth just delays, and I don't know, like a lightning just destroys, overgrowth delays, and in this kind of meta, I feel like you kind of need to just destroy before you worry about trying to delay, because you just got to be able to engage everything all at once there, and that's the way that it ends up working out, and he does get that done very, very fast, and the time instantly shifts in their favor with one exchange.
I mean, you say that, Eric, but Loki's attack before that attack
was fast.
Was the fastest attack of the war with the overgrowth spell. Now, but
this one was 1 minute and 20 seconds. How much was his?
Well, Loki was 142.
Okay, so this was the fastest attack.
Yeah, I said before this one. but with that shift, with Omaksu's attack going so slow, they end up picking up 1 minute and 7 seconds there. That's crazy. So it's now like almost a full minute advantage for SC. They go to a 50-second advantage going into our 4th and 5th attacks for both of these squads. So still a defense could happen. But the way this is going, that is a huge shift in this war.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, because like I was just saying, this is when we start to see them potentially have to change their plans a little bit there, although they're probably already thinking about how to keep the last couple of attacks here fast because they know what they're up against. But I feel like they may be potentially forced into an Electro Dragon attack there to be able to save pace if they get too far behind, because we know that the E-Drags can, in a miracle sometimes, push down to about a minute. And it's very, very rare when we see that. But then so can the Root Riders as well. The Root Riders and the Valkyries can also go very, very fast. And so there are options, and they have a little bit of a couple different choices there. But one way or another, that is always going to be in the back of their mind there with this current meta.
Yeah, and I think this is like what we were talking about in the pre-show. This is where if you make that Underworld X team just a little bit uncomfortable, that's where you can force a mistake from them. They're very good players. Don't get me wrong. They've been around our circuit forever. They've been to LAN finals. They've done it all. But it feels like, in my opinion, Underworld X has like that kind of comfort zone with their attacks. You start forcing them out of that so they have to go faster. Maybe that's where we see some mistakes. But actually, we have T-King coming in with a zap into Root Riders. Looks like nothing forced here. Looks like this is what T-King's been kind of sticking with so far. So a Root Rider, Warden Walk. Yeah, I was going to say that's what he used yesterday was Zap, Warden Walk into Root Rider. So not really forcing any issues yet, but that time has to be in the back of their head.
Yeah, a lot of times when we talk about the Warden Walk attacks, we used to say that you try to keep your Warden Walk under a minute. But you don't have that kind of luxury in this one here. But he's just going to go ahead and clear out the outside of the base there, get the Flameslinger going, and does the Warden Walk while he does the Lightning. And now the Flameslinger is set up to advance towards the Town Hall. The Town Hall was activated by the Earthquake that he used to finish out that Monolith. And now he's not going to delay any further here. He used 30 seconds to provide that setup and then send it. It's not going to be a crazy fast attack here, but if he can get through and keep it around 2 minutes there, then he can stay competitive. And he just took some shots there from that Expo onto his Flameslinger, but a very, very quick reaction, and he gets it back under control there, gets the Flameslinger off of the Expo lock-on, and he's able to now continue to advance it towards the Town Hall, and a good separation with the Lightning between where the Town Hall is being engaged and the rest of the group there, so they're not taking cross damage across the little gap.
A ton on the line for both of these teams. We're talking the difference of $4,000 between second and third place. So you definitely want to give it your all and try to win this war. Royal Champion comes in from that right-hand side. The Flame Flinger is working on the Town Hall. The spacing is perfect on this as the roots are working through, but that time is ticking away as we're about a minute 20 in with still a big chunk of this base to go. 35% remaining. Town Hall does finally fly, but this one's got to speed up. It's actually fading a little bit.
Little bit.
I think he's fine though. Really, the major threat is the King, but he does have to get this one finished off.
If this one doesn't go fast, then they're going to potentially need a defense, a straight-up defense out of SE Esports, because after that last exchange, like, they lost a lot of time. This one is definitely not going to clean up very quickly, but he does get
Pop RC, pop it.
Yeah, he's got
Pop
a pop RC soon. What equipment did he have there? A Seeking Shield, or did he have the Hog Puppet? Either way, he's gonna.
Did not see.
Yeah, I didn't see either here, but he does get in that area quickly. Like, look at the time. He's still actually right around a minute. He does pop the Seeking Shield, and he does lock it in at 50. Nope, there's one more building. 57 seconds remaining on the clock there for TA King. So that's not bad. That's pretty good. I thought it was going to go a lot slower than that after it started to slow down, but he ends up managing that left side cleanup at the very end around the defensive King, and he is able to pull it off relatively quick.
Yeah, but with that Royal Champion ability, you just got to throw it. You just got to throw that Seeking Shield, get those buildings out, because she would have been right there by the storages, I think. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. I mean, obviously, we're talking a matter of a second or two. That's all we're talking. But that could matter here as we go into our last few attacks of the war. We got 2 more for SE Esports, and at this point, Underworld X probably needs a defense. Just the way they're playing, they're not really forcing any issues with it and trying to do anything crazy fast. They're sticking with what works, but I think they're going to need a defense here.
Yeah, I think you might be right there, but I mean, I guess only time will tell. Literally.
I see what you did there.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm very clever. It's the floral shirt. It really brings out my cleverness.
Yeah, see, that's why I wear them. You know, you really kind of get that smart aleck attitude going a little bit. But we do have a tied ball game. SE Esports will have their 4th attack coming up, and ultimately, I mean, they can kind of control it a little bit because they'll get to see what Underworld X does on their last attack. Yeah. So they'll know where they need to be on time. I'm sure they're listening to our broadcast. They probably have an idea of what we've been talking about with the time. So I'm sure they have their players and their spotters, because it seems like they have most of their roster together. I'm sure they have their players keeping track of the time.
Well, what's interesting is because they get a play second, as long as they just get a triple here, then if they do it in a relatively fast time, or at least hit that like 2-minute mark there, then they could end up trying to force the last attacker to go in with an extra fast attack, and then they'll have time, because you will generally get to be able to see whether your opponent is going to actually sustain their record there and continue to get the triples or keep the speed up there. And then because they're so fast, you get a little bit of time to react afterwards to change your army as necessary, because they could have multiple plans set up there based on what happens with that last attack there from Underworld X. But in the meantime, they do need to make sure that this one's a triple. Otherwise, we could see the same thing in the opposite direction with Underworld X just going in and changing the plan to a relatively safe triple, because that's something you really have to think about. There is a 4-minute window for each different attack, and that gives you a little bit of time because of the speed attacks to be able to change your plan if necessary. But the King clears out that top compartment, gets the defensive Queen out of the way there. Queen down south does go in after the Eagle Artillery, able to get that area under control. Needs to get the air defense to the right, otherwise the Lava Hounds are going to have some weird pathing. And it looks like she's got that under control here. Now the Hounds can path through the core of the base there if necessary, but I'm looking at those Multi-Infernos to the right, and I'm a little bit concerned about them, but the World Champion is going to have to manage that area. She's in charge of making sure those go down to the Lalo handle left side.
Lalo is coming in now. We saw Van do the Skelly Donut Lalo yesterday with quite a bit of success, and it was pretty quick as well. Keep an eye on that King there as he can hold up some of those pups and some of the cleanup, but all the balloons are surging into this base now. He does have one more invisibility spell, and he's
pounding his fist over there. You see that?
I was going to say, he knows he's going to speed it up here. World Champion not Seeking Shield, excuse me, Haste Valve goes off, so she's going to speed up here, take out the multi-archer tower. She's cooking. Good. Time's fine here. Time is really fine for him.
Yeah, he started celebrating early before he was even done. You can see that he knew he had it under control. And there's the chair. Van picking up some more speed on that one, and they're going to gain even more time and force an even faster triple. So now there is no caution. There's no room for caution for Underworld X. They just have to full send this last one, because right now If they don't, then SE Esports is just going to take their time and just easily walk through another triple on that last attack, because that's where they're sitting right now. Underworld X is down heavy on time, and SE Esports is playing very fast, as they have been this entire tournament.
My calculations has about a 1 minute, 5 second advantage for SE Esports. That is very tough to overcome in one attack. Really, they're just going to, honestly, I feel like they're just going to have to cross their fingers and hope for a defense. I hope Jesus makes a mistake.
What do you do here in this situation? Do you play on the off chance that this team who plays at like a 90% plus hit rate, or probably more than that, I feel like they're hitting like 90-95% hit rate, which is wild. Do you have that 5% chance that Jesus misses? Or do you try to rush your attack, go for E-Drags, and maybe end up just straight up missing yourself, and then just play the other way? It's really difficult when you're in the situation where you have to go first, but that's where they are right now, because they played from the longer time in the lower bracket, so they are playing at the disadvantage, where the team that survived longer in the tournament is dropping down, getting to go second, and taking advantage because of that.
We've seen Sam use quite a bit of different attacks. I'm assuming that's the last attacker here for Underworld X. So we know Sam's well-versed, but if you're Underworld X with a 1 minute, 5 second disadvantage, I feel like you just got to go for the triple and just cross your fingers and hope, because you don't want to force an issue. You don't want to do something foolish and just leave yourself exposed. And then if Jesus, all he has to do is 3-star and take his time, you know he's going to be able to do that. So I think you just try to go for a moderately speed, like 2 minute 3-star, and just hope Jesus makes a mistake.
I don't think you can expect Jesus to miss, though. He's a very, very difficult person to bait, and he generally likes to stick with his Zap into Lalo, and now he can just kind of stick in his comfort zone. He doesn't have to play anything super fast. He can consistently run 2 minute Zap Lalos, and he's very, very, he's very good with that army. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I was trying to get a better word there.
Very proficient with
proficient. That's the word I'm looking for.
I got you, buddy. I got you. But Sam X is coming in with the Root Riders and Valkyries with the Overgrowth spell, similar to what we've seen Loki use, and we know this can go fast. I mean, Loki did a 1 minute 42-second attack with this, so this could be a somewhat faster attack. He is setting it up with a blimp in here to take out the Queen and the scatter shot, so a little bit long on the setup, but it looks like he's going to go right through this town hall.
All right, well then maybe they're going to go for, it's a relatively fast attack, but the blimp does cost them about 10-20 seconds right there, but the Riders are underway here, and the Valkyries will provide a lot of support there, and with the path being able to make sure that they can stay a little bit more clumped together, will support them as they make their way forward. But for the hero equipment, we're going to see, we got the heal spell for the town hall right there, but the Warden will run the healing tome as he goes through the town hall, which will help him with the poison. It'll make so that he has the support that he needs as he goes into the multi-infernos. And look at this overgrowth used on the left side of the base. Underworld X really leaning on these overgrowths to control their pathing, and is doing work here. They got really good pathing. Queen split off a little bit though. The Queen's gonna go over there, and hopefully that overgrowth wakes up soon so we can get into those defenses, because the Queen gonna get running out of targets as she just goes to the trash. But look at that. That one solo Root Rider down south, they're gonna get the Queen access to move forward towards the Eagle Artillery.
Yeah, and actually, it's probably nice that she's cleaning up out there so he doesn't have to circle back to it.
True.
Hopefully she can stay up and just sustain as he works through here. There's a lot of base up. He does have the Royal Champion, and there still has King ability with that giant gauntlet. Should be able to surge forward and take out a lot of these defenses. Queen will have ability, should be able to surge forward, take a lot of these defenses. Ooh, King does walk out a little bit here, so it could cost him some time. Time is ticking, and this one's going to be probably a little bit less, or a little bit more rather, than 2 minutes on this attack.
He lost his Headhunter for the defensive King because of a giant bomb that hit him. The World Champion gets to the core of the base. The other single Inferno, not a major threat to her, but the RC throws her shield there, able to search. Wait, did she have the Seeking Shield and?
Yes.
She had Seeking Shield and Haze Vial. He's really putting all caution to the wind and making so that she does not have additional protection and only more damage output as he goes back into the core. The Phoenix will, or excuse me, the Spirit Fox will keep her up there, and she will get those buildings down. Root Riders clear the way here to get him into that area, and he's gonna clock it at, it looks like, over 2 minutes, and it's actually a significant amount over 2 minutes. But I love to see the overgrowth there, but I fear for their chances right now, because we know that Jesus can kind of just take his time on this last one with such a large time advantage. I don't think he has to
just
anything other than just triple right now. I think if he goes all the way to 3 minutes, they win this war right now.
Agreed. With the 65-second advantage for SE coming into this one, only 42 seconds remaining on the clock. There's no way they can win on time. They just got to hope Jesus makes a mistake.
Wow.
And it's such a heartbreaker. Underworld X could be eliminated on a perfect war here.
Yeah, and they already lost one on a perfect war, didn't they?
No, it was a time fail. Remember Sam?
Okay,
99?
you're right. It was a time fail. You're right. Yeah.
Or no, they lost against UG, and they just.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah,
they just lost straight up to UG. Yeah, like
because
just a missed attack. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well,
I mean, that could be devastating. You go out in third place because of time, because you put up a perfect war, but you weren't fast enough. Your average time, maybe a little bit over 2 seconds, is going to cost you the difference of a chance at $10,000 to $20,000.
That's insane to put up that kind of performance, and like when you're sitting there, perfect war in hand, and you still feel like you didn't play well enough. That's
yeah.
insane
If you saw Sam's reaction, he looked a little bit disappointed. Like he's like, oh man,
I only tripled it.
Yeah, that could have definitely been faster. I could have definitely did something. He definitely had like a little sigh, a little exhale there. And it's such a heartbreak for our players here, man. But that's just the way it is right now. Can we get the old DPSs back from Town Hall 15? I'm just saying. Hey, Zeus is coming in with that patented Zap Lalo. 5 Zap here, so probably just going to zap out a multi-target Inferno somewhere on this base. We know Jesus is very proficient in this attack, and all he has to do is get any 3-star here to win.
Watch any potential bait. We're looking for Tesla farms that can mess up Hero Dive. That's one of the biggest things that will cascade into bigger and bigger misses. So I am looking for the defensive queen. She's going to deploy down below the king to walk towards the defensive queen. So if we see a Tesla farm in that compartment down there, that is going to be one of the key things that could potentially stop this. Also how he handles the defensive CZ. If the king is able to get in there, get that Eagle Artillery down, Log Launcher getting the tanking provided by him, will go in after the Expo, and the king will then attack the wall because it's being up there by the Log Launcher. Log Launcher hit into the Clan Castle troops. He does get all the way forward there, and he gets the Monolith down, picking up really, really solid value right here. But if he gets that Rage Tower triggered over the Town Hall, that would be even better. But I like everything that's going so far here. He's not running into any resistance at any point of attack. It's looking very, very good here for Jesus.
And look at this Titan out of the Clan Castle. If she can get that Hound pop, the Hound's going to be instantly destroyed. I think she's going to get taken out before the Hound does pop here. Keep an eye on the Ricochet Cannon. Queen does go to ability here, so she's going to have to take out the Ricochet Cannon. Does use a Baby Dragon with the balloons. Queen will have to deal with the Clan Castle Lava Hound, which is already weakened, but he does have a poison for that. Now he's just going to make his approach through this Town Hall. He will rage through the Town Hall, and this base is pretty weakened up. He's got to be feeling good about his chances.
Yeah, definitely looking good here, and he is playing a slow play a little bit there. A lot of the other attacks had felt really rushed, where they had to start the Lalo a little bit sooner than he did, but looks like he's going to get the Queen protected right there. She does get the defensive Clan Castle down, and now she can take her time going through a wall. Here comes the World Champion, left side of the base there, as he has her start to work backwards to meet everybody at the top compartment, but also needs to get the defensive World Champion down. He relocates the poison up there, and he's able to get headhunters in, but they got sniped off, so that's going to be a problem. Oh, wait, hold up. He's lost a lot of balloons here. Multi-Inferno getting a little trouble in the corner of the base. Multi-Inferno holds. RC still moving. Defensive World Champion still up here. Jesus might be a little bit of trouble, but the RC pops her Haze Vial, gets down the scatter shot, and he's got the defensive World Champion swarmed as he carries it all the way to the finish line. He's got the triple, and SE Esports is going to go back into a matchup with United Gaming and play in the grand finals as they come off of the perfect war.
A little bit close for comfort there for Jesus, a little uncharacteristic, but really that Tornado Trap over the Town Hall kind of gave him some issues. That Town Hall was actually set up to defend a Lalo entry pretty well and did give him a little bit of issues, but you'll see, like, as that Town Hall falls, and even if with the balloons stuck in the poison, that's why you run that healing tome when you're going through the Town Hall. Those balloons don't lose too much health until they really get out of there, because the healing tome carries over. So good persistence here from Jesus, running that Royal Champion in to meet up with the Lalo, and ultimately it is a victory, moving them back into the grand finals. Nothing but GG's in respect to Underworld X as they lose on a perfect war, Eric.
Yeah, that's so crazy. That's so crazy, but that's how it's going to go here, and I feel like we need to prepare ourselves for this grand finals, because there's our official clock. It is confirmed 14 seconds on average over the course of 5 attacks there into the favor of SE Esports. So it is official. They're moving to the grand finals and they get a rematch. So we saw that double perfect war in our upper bracket finals when they played against UG, and now they got to go back and beat them. Not just one stone, They got to force a bracket reset first, and then they got to beat them twice to claim the $20,000 first place prize and the Snapdragon Pro Series Championship. But guys, that's coming up next. We're going to take a very short break here, and we will be right back. You're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true. Where everything you want can be yours. If and only if you're willing to work for them. You're willing to hurt for them. But most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting? It's hot. Look what I got. Whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy, and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha. Yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what it's meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. But mentally, I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited. Like there's no reason. Like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
The Snapdragon Pro Series powered by Samsung Galaxy is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, Monster Energy, DHL, and the United States Air Force.
A monumental win from SE Esports. There is a time and place to show up, and that time is now, and that place is right here. Congratulations to them for making it through to that grand final, where they will face off against United Gaming a little bit later on. But commiserations have to go to Underworld X, because they actually got a perfect war. So what an amazing performance. It was just down to time once again. Now, I mean, third place in your entire region is, you know, still pretty commendable, I have to say. Bash, obviously we spoke about it before, the war swung the way that we thought it would, and pretty much in the way that we thought it would.
Yeah. I mean, we thought maybe Underworld X could make a mistake, but I just thought that because maybe they were going to try to force something, trying to keep up with SE Esports. But ultimately, they stuck to their guns and just were hoping that SE would make a mistake. But with a team as good as SE Esports, they don't make many.
Honestly, it was unbelievable to watch. And Eric, there's also an argument to be had if you're coming from the lower bracket into this grand final a little bit later on today, then you're carrying some momentum with you. You're coming off the back of a win, there's positive vibes, the energy's good between you and your teammates. What do you feel like, you know, this chances of this bracket reset could be pretty high?
Well, I mean, looking at the track record of SE Esports, like they have had perfect war, Perfect war. And then you look at all the wars that they did in the challenge phase, and it was perfect war, perfect war, perfect war, perfect war.
They had two misses. They literally had two missed attacks during all of challenge.
Season. Yeah, like literally since they came out of the open finals, they've had 2 misses total combined between over the course of like 11 wars. So that's pretty insane right there. They're playing at a whole nother level there. UG cannot let their guard down in the slightest against this team, because the last war that they played against each other in the upper bracket was the double perfect war that came down with a 4-second split between the teams. And so like that's as close as you could come right there to begin with. And now they go in and get a rematch against them. So this could go anywhere. This is going to be wild.
Absolutely. Even with Loki putting up such a quick time at the beginning as well, putting Underworld X and the front foot, and then it just kind of slowly bled the other way.
Yeah.
Man, it's been so phenomenal to see, and we're going to see more of it as well. Bash, let's have a quick look at the bracket as it stands, because we want to take our viewers on a little bit of a journey of how it stands and what's going to be happening coming up.
Yeah, so our grand finals, United Gaming versus SE Esports. Treat this as a best of 3 where United Gaming has already won 1, essentially. That's how we got to treat this. SE Esports needs to win 2. United just needs to win 1. Congrats to Method of Madness and Underworld X on their 3rd and 4th place finishes. They will walk home with some handsome prize money as well.
Very, very impressive stuff here. But this last game here between United Game and SE Esports is a difference of $10,000. Yeah. They're walking away with 20,000 or 10,000 here. But obviously United Gaming has a massive advantage here. 2 chances to take down SE Esports. But I feel like if there's any team that could topple them, it is SE Esports. Because remember, SE Esports, they are the defending champions right now. They won in Seattle last season. However, they also faced off in the season before that, and that one United Gaming won. So these teams are back and forth, back and forth. They are, hands down, the 2 best teams in the region. They continue to prove it time and time again. And here we are once again. But what's interesting is when SE Esports played in Seattle, they actually won it from the lower bracket. They did force the bracket reset out there. They did end up taking the win over United Gaming. It's a completely different meta now, but they have adjusted very, very nicely to it. And I do have a lot of confidence that they could end up putting that through again.
Well, we have a little bit of insight, hopefully, from behind the scenes, as we are going to be joined by Van from SE Esports live on the show right now. Van, I believe you can hear me. I hope you're doing well, man. I'm pretty sure you will be, but congratulations on securing your spot in the grand finals. I mean, you know, speed seems to be the key word that's going around at the moment. We're talking about it a lot in the studio at the moment. Are you guys actively choosing just the fastest army comps that you can, just in case it goes to time? Because that seems to be what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, thank you, Banks. Yeah, great to be here. Time is definitely of the essence. So when it comes to, you know, looking at the bases, we kind of do break down bases based on like what's going to be fastest and kind of just optimize our hits as fast as we can possibly get them. That's the only way.
Well, when you are attacking, or when you're choosing the bases, I mean, when you're trying to decide which bases to run on defense there, are you also trying to consider time for that? Like, are we trying to just try to stop attacks completely right now? Or are we just trying to make bases that are difficult to triple fast?
I think it's a little bit of both. You really can't bank on trying to make a hit slower or not. It's just, I don't know. It's really hard. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it almost has to be frustrating. You guys have 3 perfect wars. You have to now play from the lower bracket. I mean, does that kind of get in your head, or is it just stick to the game plan, go as fast as we can, and just do what we can to win these wars?
Yeah, it's just stick to the game plan and just do what we know how to do and just try and work our best to cut down the time. Yeah. I mean, we've been doing pretty good with that.
Van, do you feel like the update has impacted anything? Obviously, we've seen a little bit of use of overgrowth coming into this side of the competition, but ultimately, do you feel like it hasn't really pulled anything away from the way that you kind of prepare for each of these attacks?
No, I'm not going to lie. The meta really hasn't changed. Root Riders are still pretty strong. I mean, the overgrowth spell's been used here and there, but Roots still remain the strongest army in the game, I would say.
Well, best of luck in your grand final match that will be taking place imminently. Best of luck to you guys, and you've shown up really, really strong so far, and we hope that you bring it through and maybe even hopefully force a bracket reset and then get things really heating up. Best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Banks.
Well, that was Van from SE Esports getting prepped and ready for the grand final that's coming up really, really soon. So let's turn our attention to that match because it's going to be a spicy one. Spicy seems to be the word that we're kind of throwing around a lot. I like it. Spicy shirts, we've got some spicy attacks. Bash, you're looking at me like, you know, am I a boomer? Is this why I'm getting this look?
I don't think it's spicy's being thrown. I think you're throwing spicy.
That's my word.
It's a very spicy evening here in Poland. But I mean, ultimately, it is pretty spicy here. We talked about the update, and we got new scatter shot levels, we got some new defensive levels, but with the new hero equipment, and like for some reason, it feels like offense didn't even really get that much. I mean, we technically got a nerf to the roots, but it feels like offense is even stronger with new levels to some key defenses.
Yeah, it feels like when we were playing through the challenge, there were a lot more wars that ended up being lower scores,
right,
except for with SE Esports. SE Esports was putting up perfect wars all the way through the challenge phase, but all the other teams were hitting much, much lower numbers there, like a
lot of 13s,
14s, 13s, or whatever, but there were very, very few perfect wars, and so, I mean, everybody has stepped up their game here for the challenge finals, and so it's really nice to see that, but it just feels like the bases just cannot stop the troops right now. It just feels like they're walking through, and I know that it's not as easy as they make it look, because you look at the rest of the community, through all the esports community and across the game, and you are seeing not very many teams performing at this level. So it is a mix of skill and speed and the pressure of the tournament as well, bring out the best of them.
Well, it might not be easy for you guys, but you know, I'm a 10 or 12 and I'm finding it pretty easy, you know what I'm saying?
Weren't you one-starring pre-show?
I have no idea what you're talking
Expose him, chat. Expose him.
Okay, let's focus on the mentality really quick, because we're actually going to be starting this game very shortly. United Gaming coming into this, obviously they've got that buffer of that additional bracket reset possibly. Do you feel like they just come into this absolutely guns blazing, swinging, let's go, all E-drags, something like that, because you feel like they're just going to want to put up the fastest time, the fastest triples possible?
Yeah, I think that yes, but also I think that United Gaming has one of the best base building teams in North America, and I think that if anybody can hold a defense and stop it from a perfect war, I think United Gaming is definitely one of the teams that could.
I mean, SE Esports has 3 perfect wars, so good luck on that.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about, like, you know, like the offense seems more like, or the meta seems more offensive heavily. It feels like just the teams have had a little bit more time. That extra month we thought maybe would play like a deterrent, but it's really gave them more time to get comfortable with this brand new troop, the brand new meta. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 15-15, and if I'm UG, why not lay it all out there? Why not run the Super Dragons, the E-Dragons, and just try to win this one on the first one? If you're UG, you got that buffer, why not? I'm expecting if this goes to 2, both of them are perfect wars, double perfects.
Oof, this has the makings of being an insane comeback because, you know, like I've said it before and I'll say it again, if you're coming from the lower bracket, I feel like momentum is on your side. So if I was a betting man, I would say that I would lean towards SE Esports just for this opening war, but I can't get out of my head the fact that United Gaming are probably going to come into this just going, let's just absolutely obliterate these bases as fast as possible. I know it sounds easier than it is, but, you know, I'm a Tunnel 12 and I know what I'm talking about, Eric.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy war here, one way or another here, because I just love the storyline of these two teams, just refacing each other over and over. They always seem to meet each other at the very, very last war in these grand finals of this this tournament over and over, and it's just happening again. It's like history is repeating itself there, and they distinguish themselves once again.
Right, Bash, you're in United Gaming's corner. What do you say to them? Go on, Coach Bash.
I mean, just kind of what we were talking about. Just throw it all out there. You got the buffer. Why not just go as fast as possible? Try to force a mistake from SE Esports. See how fast you can go in this war.
Well, the game is about to start. This is possibly going to be a $20,000 war on our hands right here, right now. This could be the last war of this entire competition. United Gaming, if they take this win, they are the North American Snapdragon Pro Series champions. It's time for United Gaming versus SE Esports.
Here we go. Ghost is starting us off with a Root Rider attack of his own. We did see a little bit of zap action in here. Looks like maybe got out the Monolith on the backside. As we get things going, the Queen is dealing with these clan castle troops. King is going in here, and he's going to have to go quick. That's going to be the theme of these wars. You got to go fast, and you got to put up 3 stars.
They've been putting in so many perfect wars here, and when you're dealing with the top 2 teams in North America, you got to play fast, you got to play efficient. You can't waste anything on any part of the attack here. But look at this. He's going to put in the Root Riders opposite of the King and Queen, and they're all going to converge and meet each other at the end of the base there at the Town Hall. Here comes Headhunters for the Root Riders to get past the defensive Queen. Got that under control here. King and Queen are slowing down a little bit there, but he still has multiple abilities over there, and he's still looking okay, but he's holding Root Riders and Hog Riders on standby that he starts to drop it across the top of the base there to make sure the rest of the pack continues to go directly forward.
Everything converging into the center of this base. Does go ahead and freeze the double Ricochet Cannon and that Poison Tower before it throws. I really like that play of freezing the Poison Tower before it throws too much, because then it's not going to be as effective. He will have to deal with poison from the Town Hall. Royal Champion is in there. All the roots are being healed up here with the Warden Eternal Tome. Now he's just going to get through this Town Hall. No more King or Queen ability, but Royal Champion does still have Seeking Shield. There's quite a bit of base here. I'm actually a little bit worried about this one, to be honest with you.
Got the Royal Champion still moving. He's got extra troops on standby that he can use to support the defensive King. He's throwing in some more cleanup over to the right there. Hog Rider and Super Barb go to the cannon. Gonna get some support right there. The Royal Champion engages the defensive King. He's got the Royal Champion with the haste vial, I assume. Was right there to get the defensive King down a little bit faster into the last couple defenses here, but he is kind of faded. You're right. This one might not go through. I'm not 100% sure. He's still relatively fast on time. RC's getting the last couple defenses down. Looks like he's got it under control here. Clocking in at a little bit slower than we'd like to see, but he does have it under control, and it looks like he will go sub 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Looking at 40 seconds left on the clock there on the open attack for United Gaming.
Yeah, that one just, everything faded there at the Town Hall. It was a little bit closer than I'm sure Ghost would have liked. As whatever reason, it just all, as the Ricochet Cannons, the Poison Towers, the poison of the Town Hall slowed everything down. I mean, if you look at that Town Hall compartment, it's loaded. Both Ricochet Cannons, both multi-archer towers, the 2 ground bows there, definitely enough to slow down a Root Rider attack. And I think that's going to be a thing here is, can you guess what your opponent's going to use, and can you slow them down enough? So 40 seconds remaining on the clock, 2 minutes, 20 seconds on that attack is a little bit slower from what we saw from United yesterday.
Yeah, but I mean, when you're trying to cross the whole base there before you pop the ward ability, then you potentially lose a lot of troops there that are not able to get healed up because they died outright. And that is one disadvantage of going into the lighter areas of the base first instead of just diving head first into that very, very dense area around the Town Hall, because then you end up just kind of coasting into it. And he did have a really good setup there. He did have everybody staying together. They all arrived roughly at the same time, and so it was controlled very, very well. But losing a couple troops along the way to some point defenses does make so that the ward ability is used and not able to cover every single troop because of the ones that died out on your way there.
Yeah, if you're SE Esports, you got to be feeling good because your slowest attack in the last war was 2 minutes, 13 seconds from Jesus, which he could have probably sped that up if he really wanted to. So you got to be feeling good coming in after that first attack. It almost feels like a defense when you hold him to 220, right? It's crazy that it feels like that was a defense there, but it is still a 3-star with time. We got 9 attacks in this war, so anything can happen. And the one thing we were talking about is, like, you know, go fast and lay it all out there. But sometimes that's where you get that mistake. That's where you force an issue and you get out of your comfort zone. So that's something we'll have to keep an eye on, as BJG is going to come in with the Zap Lalo, kind of his signature attack here. Did get some zaps going early on here. Did he get out an Inferno Tower, maybe an X-Bow up top there, and a big defense, maybe Eagle?
Eagle, yep. Yeah, and we don't normally watch and talk about the time so much here, but the track record of these teams has shown them getting perfect war after perfect war after perfect war on both sides, and so it is something that we are extremely conscious of, because they are, if they continue their previous gens, then we would almost definitely see a double perfect war unless somebody makes a major mistake. But it looks like the King ended up going to the outside of the base. He circles all the way around, but he goes back in a scatter shot compartment, so he's not out of action. Nope, just kidding, he's not going to go there, but the Queen should be under control there. And it looks like we got the healer puppet there popping with the Queen ability to generate some extra support there, as he is not going to quite get that multi. This Queen she doesn't get this Expo multi down. That could cascade into a very, very big problem for the Lalo.
She will eventually get to the multi, but that bow is definitely going to redirect some
right now. She's down.
Wait a second. I thought he would be fine. Oh, this could be.
This is a problem. This is very, very big
trouble. Uh-oh. BJG, our first mistakes have been made for SE Esports. They come into this flawless so far with 3 perfect wars. He's still fine here, but he's got a lot of work to do to finish this base off with the defending world champion and that scatter shot doing some work.
He's got the balloons and the Phoenix in the core of the base there that can potentially get that multi-inferno down. World champion getting the support of the freeze right there. Headhunters get through the defensive world champion. Balloons are swarming that area here. Phoenix still working. RC still has her ability, and she should be able to surge forward there and get down that multi-inferno. Not really concerned about the triple right now, but it is slowing down here a little bit towards the end, and you see the base building going to work here as they are able to get some slow down and push these attacks to be a little bit longer than what their averages have been against the other teams. But he pops the RC shield and does hit the last 2 storages at the bottom base there and tries to get done a little bit faster. Looking like this one's going to clock in at a 7-second advantage in the favor of SE Esports.
All right, that's pretty interesting there. Not really a significant advantage either way on that one, as BJG's attack kind of went a little bit sideways on him, but we saw Ghost's attack go a little bit sideways, so SE Esports does hold the advantage. With the way, oh man, the Spirit Fox is just so OP on the Royal Champion. It's almost broken OP. Like, that one may have had issues before Spirit Fox came out, but with Spirit Fox able to protect that Royal Champion so much, she's able to get through there, take out the defending Royal Champion, take out that multi, and then ultimately he has balloons and stuff up at the end of the attack. So 7 seconds is the lead. I know you guys are sick of hearing about time, but it's relevant. 3 out of our 5 wars so far in our challenge finals have been double perfect. So we have to keep harping on the time. These teams have already played to a double perfect time match, so it's something we got to just stay aware of.
Yeah, it's we only really concentrated on when we have teams of this caliber going into this. There's very few teams that are consistently getting perfect war after perfect war after perfect war, and these are all teams that are able to do it. And with the top 2 teams in North America going head-to-head here with their track record, with both of these teams being the winners of the last 2 seasons and facing off each other against each other in Season 3 in Seattle, in Season 2 in San Diego. Like, this is the biggest matchup in North America, and they keep on facing off against each other in these grand finals. And last time, SE Esports was able to win it from the lower bracket. They were able to sweep out the lower bracket after losing to United Gaming in the upper bracket back in Seattle. And so they're trying to do that again, but United Gaming is on a mission to not let that happen again and claim another championship, because actually, if they can get it, Nick specifically would be claiming his 7th Snapdragon Pro Series championship, and he and the rest of his team have more championship victories than everybody else here. But here's Nick, speak of the devil, he does go in with the Super Dragons, as he's just going to go ahead and use bat spells to tank the air defenses. Couple of black air bombs going out there, but they're going to balloons, and the Super Dragons stay nice and healthy as he puts in a slammer and goes heavy towards the top corner, and he's at the coast his way down towards the town hall without a blimp to go after it directly.
He does miss the air defense down there on the right-hand side. He was trying to get that out with the Baby Dragon and that bat spell that was tanking. And we saw him use this with the Super Minion Bomb yesterday, which was super, super effective. But he's just going to keep his heroes kind of away while the Super Dragons work through the middle of the base, and then they're able to get towards that clan castle. Remember, if the clan castle is destroyed before any of the troops come out, then those troops will be destroyed with it. Super Dragons need to get in there before those heroes tuck in, and there we go. Super Dragons get the town hall, and they get the clan castle right here. Now the heroes just got to sweep through the back of the base. This is one of the faster attacks. This with E-Dragons can move really quickly through these bases.
You can see the communication that his teammates are giving him with that Baby Dragon to finish off the air defense on the right side. There was one shot. This one Dragon over to the far right gets the Expo down and the defensive King. That's going to clear up his heroes to be able to have a lot less resistance into that area, freezing up the defensive Queen down south here. Royal Champion pushes in. She's got the Haze Vial, surges way forward, but gets wrecked by the defensive Queen. Queen. Spirit Fox still working on the defensive Queen, and Spirit Fox clutches right there to get her down. Queen still moving, ability attachment, but he needs to get these dragons to go back into the middle of the base there, and they are splitting off now. It is looking pretty fast here. I'm going to call right around 2 minutes here is where it's looking to end, but I think he might be faster than that.
I think he needed to put the Royal Champion over on the right side. He could have gained some time back there if he put it on that cannon and let her work in with everything. I know he was trying to get that air defense down to protect those dragons, but ultimately the RC did not get much for him. I believe we had about 1 minute 13 seconds remaining on the clock, so super fast. But I think if he puts RC over there on that cannon and lets her just kind of converge with everything, it might have been a little bit more effective, maybe saved him 4 or 5 seconds there. Obviously, I'm here. I wouldn't even try a Super Dragon attack, so don't listen to me, Nick. GG's on the attack. That is very quick. Now, SE Esports is going to have to respond with a somewhat quick attack of their own.
Kind of a little bit of a gamble on that one, where you just kind of
right here, put Royal Champion on the right.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about there. But I feel like the Royal Champion had to stay on standby until that Town Hall was definitely going down. And the one Super Dragon that split off, and then the spell support provided on top of it to make sure that the Town Hall went down. Just little things like that, making so that the minimum amount goes to that Town Hall by kind of putting it all away from that area, makes so that he doesn't have luck getting hit by the blast, not a lot sitting in the poison there, and the Super Dragons go into the more dense area off to the far left there. But he has his backup methods in place, and it is like sometimes you do have to take a little bit of a gamble when you're trying to keep the speeds up and play at the pace that they are right now, and we're seeing a lot in these wars.
Well, Eric, we talked about like how these teams have matched up so many times in the past and how SE was able to get that reverse sweep. The one thing I want to point out, this is a whole different game. Yes, we're playing Clash of Clans, but we've never seen anything like this since we've been doing this tournament, where we're looking at double perfect wars, where we're keeping track of times here. I feel like it's going to be a lot harder to get that reverse sweep because you're going to have to be quicker than them twice, essentially, and that's just going to be so hard to do. And then when you're trying to do that, that's when you can force that mistake, or just one little thing goes sideways. And I mean, we almost saw it with BJG's attack.
Well, we didn't see the double perfect wars as much in the earlier stages of the tournament, but it's just the teams of this caliber are playing at that level, and so now we are ultra conscious of it, and it's a wild meta right now. This is insane. This is something that we've never really, like you said, we've never really had to deal with a meta like this, and that's what the players have to handle, and they're all on the even playing field. So no matter how you look at it, they all have the same tools, they all have the same goals, and they need to make sure that they keep those speeds up here. But it is going to be
Is he going to clone these balloons?
It looks like
okay, no,
he's got a couple of minions here, so he could go for like a super minion bomb. I'd imagine so. Looks like he will land right by the Town Hall.
Yep.
He's going to go ahead and clone up some super minions, and will take out everything around the Town Hall first, and then turn to actually go take it down. Looks like he's going to get that entire area there wiped out, and if he gets some air defenses on top of that, then that's just icing on the cake there. But honestly, the air defenses are kind of secondary. They just help out with the pathing for the fighters, so they don't have to go in that area. But, I mean, he's going to get the defensive king down as well, which is also a big pickup.
Yeah, that was crazy good value from the super minion bomb. Not too much invested in that, but he does go ahead and gut out that whole Town Hall compartment. Now the Root Riders can go ahead and work through, and he uses those super barbarians on the left-hand side, clearing out some of those defenses just to push those Root Riders right through the middle. What are you seeing here, Eric?
I'm seeing King and Queen coming to the very bottom of the base there. At the same time, the Root Riders are going to the top. You would expect that they would all go together, but why put all the firepower into one spot when we attack every single side of the base at the exact same time and keep the attack time at an absolute bare minimum? Holy speed! Max has ripped his base to shreds. There's still almost 2 minutes on the clock, and he's still holding a Royal Champion ability. Pops that Seeking Shield and locks this one in at under a minute and 30. Final time, 1 minute and 22 seconds. Unbelievable.
What the heck just happened there? They gained 25 seconds on that exchange, pushing their lead up to 32 seconds. That's something we have not seen. Normally you send all the heroes in, or at least the king and queen with all the roots. He just sends the king and queen in to converge on the opposite side of the base. Those super barbarians did such a good job clearing out and just keeping the roots where they needed to go. Beautiful attack from Max. If you're SE Esports, you got to be feeling amazing right now.
Yeah, Max is. You see him walk away. He dropped everything, and he couldn't even stay there to watch the finish. There, he's so hyped up right there. You can just see it on the cameras with the team. team. And it's so awesome that the teams were able to gather together for these wars. So, like we didn't have a LAN event for this one here, but the teams still went out to the same location and are all in the same room there. You see it with United Gaming, we see it with SE Esports, and it's not every single player, but the majority of the team is right there in the same room playing together. And that's very, very exciting and definitely brings a whole other feel to it when they can be right next to their teammates while they play.
It looks like mostly all of UG is together, just maybe a couple players for SC. Mostly Jesus, I've noticed, not there with the team. But man, imagine if we were at a LAN, how electric the crowd would be, how much noise would be going on in the stadium. Oh, I miss LANs. Oh, it's so much fun. But we do have some great clash action. We are all tied up after 4 attacks, 6-6, with approximately a 32-second advantage in the favor of SE Esports. These teams did already play to a double perfect war tie yesterday in our upper bracket grand final. We are now in our grand final. If UG wins this, they win $20,000 in our Season 4 championship.
Yeah, and that would be the 7th championship for Nick, like I mentioned earlier.
He's going to run out of fingers soon.
He is. If he passes all the way to like 10, that would be insane. But like, what's crazy is not only is he pushing for a 7th championship with UG, but a lot of his teammates are pushing for their 5th. And so he has a couple more wins because their team is like disassembled and then reassembled and shifted around a little bit there. But wherever Nick goes, the championship seems to follow, and they're looking to try to claim another one here after they barely missed it out in Seattle when they were upset there by the team that is now SE Esports. So it's insane, the track record of these teams. But I mean, you're looking at the majority of the North American highest end talent right here on these rosters. And speaking of talent, Rigo Torres has more World Championship appearances than any other player in North America.
This is Earthquake Boots again.
Electro Dragons, Earthquake Boots, and Barbarian Puppet. He's going to go in with a completely off-meta push here with the King as he works on the outside of the base there, and he drags push to core.
We saw him use these Earthquake Boots yesterday. The Earthquake Boots, no matter what level they were, they will destroy the walls. So we'll have to keep an eye on when he uses that ability, maybe try to push the King into the Eagle compartment. He does have these E-Drags cooking through here. They do need to get through this Town Hall, or the CC rather, if possible. They do. CC is down, excuse me, as I fumble through my words, but this is cooking.
E-Drag in the core there just chained through the Queen and ended up getting all of his threats down. Gonna get the Inferno down, gonna get the Ricochet cannon down. Holy value out of that. One last E-Drag in the core, cleans it out. And now the Rogue Champ will have no problem moving through. And look at the speed of this one. If we thought the last one was fast, Rigo Torres is cooking.
Why is he? I don't understand why he's not using Rage Gem instead of the Earthquake Boots. He doesn't need those Earthquake Boots. Someone get that man a Rage Gem, and this is even faster than it is. We're looking at a 1 minute 20 second, 1 minute 15 second attack. Oh, baby, it's 1 minute 17 seconds for Rigo Torres. If we thought Max's attack was fast, that was even faster.
Oh my goodness, and you see him on his feet there at the end of that attack, and you see the whole team's reaction on the cameras right there. Love to see it. Love to have the whole team gathered together there playing the table, and it just brings a whole different feeling to this competition. But look at that E-Drag in the core. That E-Drag clutched so hard right there, using like, you see that big clump of E-Drags, and most people are going to go ahead and let the like solo E-Drag in the middle of the base there die out, but not Rigo Torres, being conscious that he doesn't need to put all the spells into, like putting rages and freezes into that big clump of E-Drags at the top there would have not got those internal defenses down, but putting the spells right where they are needed and not just aiming for big clumps.
Eric, we were talking about 2 minute attacks are fast. We just saw back-to-back sub 90 second attacks. That is insane. We started off kind of slow here. Ghost with 40 seconds remaining, BJG with 47 seconds, and then from there we've just put the pedal to the metal, and these guys are flying. So SE does have a little bit of a lead, but with how quick that was, they really got to be conscious and just kind of keep going fast as they can.
You got an estimate? How much difference are we looking potentially?
Well, I mean, we were 32 seconds up for SE, give or take a second or two. But with Rigo going that fast, it all depends on what happens here.
Okay, all right. Well, the pressure's on, and you gotta book it. You gotta book it. These are going crazy.
That was actually the intro to my video today. Jesus, book it! Your quote from yesterday. Oh man, this is so much fun to watch. I mean, if we're gonna have perfect wars, at least let's have a little bit of fun with it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta move fast, and like it's just crazy because you start moving this faster. You're trying to do that many things at the same time, and this is when mistakes happen with less experienced players. You have to keep the speed up, and you can't afford any mistakes at any point here that end up costing you time for one, and then on top of that, if it ends up costing you the chance at a triple, then you just throw the whole war out the window, because that's the way that this meta is played right now when you're dealing with teams of this level. And it's just insane to see these guys play, but that's what we expect out of these guys here. That's what we expect when we're dealing with teams that would be like top 10 in the world right now.
Yeah, these guys are playing really, really well, not just in NA. You've been telling me, keep me in the loop on the international circuits, the bigger tournaments as well. Not that our tournament's not big, it's part of my French there, but you know, some of the international circuits, the world circuits there, these guys are competing and doing really, really well. So NA is looking like Clash is in a good spot for them. I mean, Clash is in a good spot for everyone, as offense is so crazy. I mean, even I'm able to 3-star pretty consistently right now.
Wow,
that's
insane.
Hey,
Offense is
tough.
broken, that's official.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
All right, well, let's get into Van. All right, keep the speed up here. Going in with the Sui Lalo here. Going to dive into the very bottom of the base here to go after the Eagle Artillery, King, Queen, and Giants moving in there. Wall break in. A couple of Super Barbarians controlling their pathing and making sure they go forward here. Road Champion not delayed. She's deployed immediately over to the left side and will go into the scatter shot area, but needs to get past that defensive Road Champion. Got a skeleton spell there, giving her protection, invisibility, giving her more protection, and she does power through.
Nice.
Looking pretty solid on the setup here, and it is really, really moving fast here, and that's what we like about the Lalo attacks in general, and the Sui Lalos are even faster than the Zap and the Skelly-Dota Lalos because there is no setup, you just full send.
I was gonna say, keep an eye on this Queen, but she does get those super minions down, does get the single target Inferno. Now Lalo's gonna come through this Town Hall. He does have the King that will protect the Headhunters, or not protect, but distract the Headhunters rather, as he's gonna have to get through that enemy Queen. Does freeze the invisibility tower so that the Lalo can get through there, but it's gonna activate
Tower, this is gonna be tricky. You need to one-shot the Town Hall. He's got a one-shot it. He's got a one-shot it. Invisibility tower goes off.
He got it.
They
He
got
got
it.
it.
No.
Uh-oh.
Down? No, it's not down.
It's not.
Van is in trouble here, Bash.
Uh-oh. Oh, no, he's fine. He's fine.
Is he?
It's down. It's down. It's down. Yeah.
It is down, but what about the time? What about the triple?
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, wait a second. He's got a scatter in the back. He's got spells.
He's got spells. He's got spells.
Still got spells, so he's fine. He's just, the time might not be there. This will be a little bit slower than Rigo, but remember, they did have a little bit of an advantage. He will have to circle back for this. Ooh, this could actually be kind of slow.
Yeah, that Inferno is going to stay standing. Could end up taking out a little bit of his cleanup over there. Luckily, the cleanup that is in the area is staying just out of the range of it. He's got the balloons have to go back to that area, but with
No
the
balloons.
Champion going down early, he doesn't have harness for his backside. Ward is the first to revive the single Inferno. He's going to take the shots at it. He does one-shot it, and he's going to turn away.
Oh,
he's going to walk away from the cleanup that's costing a lot of time.
Oh, no.
I was concerned about the triple initially, but now I'm looking at the clock here ticking away, and I watch their advantage evaporate.
Oh my goodness, these balloons just keep staying away from this clan castle. Now the skeletons are going to distract. This is way too slow. This is way too slow. It's crazy that you look at the disappointment in Van's face. You know he feels bad. It is such a heartbreak here that he gets this down in 2 minutes and what, 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. And it's just not fast enough.
Yeah, that's insane to even think about there, but that's what you have to do.
Oh my, Eric, United Gaming gained back a minute and a second there, so they are going to be in the advantage by about 28 seconds now.
All right, well, that's it. That's still enough of a difference that we could see the war swing in a single attack there. But look at this Dragon Rider over the left side here that was almost able to get that single Inferno down. And it's insane that it ends up coming down to this, but it is over and over, which is insane to me. Like, to have these teams, like, usually I don't have to harp on time this much here, but these guys are just playing out of their minds right now. Look at the average attack time right now. We're looking at a 9-second on average split.
So times 3, so it's 27.
27.
So I was off by a second, but
well, maybe because that's the
yeah, it could still be
rounded off there by the game.
Yeah,
so
true.
You got to go into like all the way down into the nitty-gritty numbers there once we get to the end, if they end up like shown at the same time on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, if it is 27 seconds, I got it at 28. So with 3 attacks, that's probably rounded down. It's like,
yeah, you got to, like, if it ends up being like tie on time in the end, you got to like pull the API to be able to actually find it out there, because it goes down to like the
milliseconds.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, again, you know, as I'm saying the times and we're keeping track of times, it's unofficial, guys. This is just me with note cards here writing down plus or minus 20 seconds, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
Bash Math
unofficial.
is just destined to be wrong.
Hey, I've refined my system since that one incident. We had that one incident, and I redid the whole system. Agent 33 coming in with Super Dragons. Similar setup here as Nick had, and Nick's attack was really, really quick. So let's see if Agent can do the same.
All right, 27 seconds in the lead unofficially. And we'll see if the Super Dragons are going to be able to get it done. Slammer with the bat spell goes into the air defense down south. Able to stay protected. No shots going in it. And he will go right through the Town Hall with the Super Dragons. And we saw the Super Dragons having a lot of success there, staying very, very fast in their war the other day, yesterday. And we're going to see if they can do it again here. But there's that invisibility tower going off here. Dragons are going to be able to walk right past the Town Hall. They're going to avoid it for now.
Look at the splash.
Then they're going to be able to turn back around there and then get away from it as he gets past the Town Hall. He's got the healing tome on the Warden. And so he's able to heal right into the Bolt Infernos and the poison on the Town Hall and stay nice and healthy here, Bash.
The one thing that's really nice about these Super Dragon and Electro Dragon attacks that United's using is, check this out, the CC goes down before it was a full CC pool. That is massive, especially when we're dealing with seconds here. Seconds per attack are going to matter, and this one is cooking through here. He does still have a pretty big chunk of the base with that Tesla farm popping. The King is back there. Queen does not have ability, so Queen will go down to the Ricochet cannon here, and he is actually kind of thinning out on troops, but does have Royal Champion. Now pops her Haste Vial. He's got to get through the enemy king. Did he get? Oh, his king's fighting the enemy king now.
Yeah. I'm noticing something on the trap placement on these bases. I'm seeing a lot of internal black air bombs. Usually we see black air bombs near the edge of the base there, and that is not how you end up facing dragons generally. Or when you put the air bombs on the edge of the base, you end up having like balloons end up triggering them. But when you put the black air bombs in the core of the base, you end up being able to take out a lot of dragons there as they come out of the ward ability. Still clocking in very, very fast, but no dragons survive. It's just the king and the road champion at the end, and it is another very fast attack here from United Gaming.
Did you see the final time there? Was that 1 minute 17 remaining?
I think it was.
Yeah, so pretty quick. Even though it slowed down there at the end, 1 minute 17 is still very, very fast, sub 2 minute. And with them already having a little bit of an advantage, anything sub 2 minute is going to be good. Anything like around that 90 to 100 second mark is really probably their target.
Yeah, exactly. And SE Esports now going to have some pressure on as they go into their final 2 attacks here, and they got some time to make up for it. They need to match the time on that one, plus they need to go even faster than that. So they got to be really, really thinking about maybe switching some attacks around here to try to speed things up even more. And we know that they can. We know that we've seen them getting into the all the way down near a minute there on some of their attacks there in other wars. So I know that they're capable of it. I know that they can do this, but it's just a matter of, can you do it and not have mistakes? And also, is the basis of UG going to be like compact bases that E-Drags could end up going through? Because I don't think they run any compact bases. I feel like you have to run a little bit more spread out. What spread out bases are more vulnerable to Root Riders. So no matter what you do, you're either going to be hit with the wide net there of the Root Riders or the narrow shock of the Electro Dragons. And there's an answer to go fast, and you just got to make the right call in the base. And it's very difficult to decide what to run on defense to be able to stop these attacks and slow them down.
But the tough thing is yeah, we've seen them do 1 minute attacks, but it's really tough to do that in this situation.
It is.
With only 2 bases remaining.
And bases that are built to slow you down a little bit.
Right, bases that they're conscious of what the fast attacks are. You're not even really building to defend the 3-star here. You know what the meta is. You're aware of it. You're just building to slow them down enough to give yourself a chance. It's crazy to even think about. SE Esports has 2 attacks here. They have to make up a little bit of time here. So realistically, if they get a 90-second attack here, maybe make up 13 seconds, that puts them in a nice spot. But again, that could force the issue. It's a lot on the line. It's a lot of pressure both ways.
It is, and it's really interesting to see what they're deciding to run as defensive Clan Castle troops here, because if you run the Ice Golems, then you can stall up Root Riders and slow them down, potentially even stop them. But then they just go into an attack with Super Dragons or air attacks, and then they destroy the Clan Castle building before the Ice Golems come out, and so they disable that, and they end up going faster as a result. So it just matters what comes out of the defensive CC and how they end up dealing with it. This one is going to be a ground attack going right through the Town Hall. He's got the healing tome on the Warden and running the original World Champion equipment with the Seeking Shield, but there goes Rocket Balloons trying to go out there, and if that gets a clump of these Root Riders down early, if those Rocket Balloons get some strikes up, and he's kind of forced to run the Ward ability early before he gets to the Town Hall to try to prevent the Rocket Balloons from taking that giant clump of Root Riders down. That could have been a disaster, but he did manage it, I think, in the right way.
This is why sometimes you'll bring a heal a spell or two, so you can heal right there and you don't have to force that ward ability. I think he lost a couple of roots, maybe 1 or 2 there, or they at least took a significant amount of damage. He is starting to work through the middle of this base, but there is a lot of base remaining. And look at these power core back here, Eric. Ranged up bows, ranged up scatter shots, ranged up multis. World Champion joins the party there at the top of the base. He does have a nice little parade through the middle. Queen will take out the defending Queen, but he's got to get this one going, and he's got to get through this power core.
Yeah, that's a very, very dangerous area there, and with losing, I gotta say, I never considered rocket balloons as a potential stop to this attacker, and it's done a very, very good job.
Stop the
rocket balloons softened up the Root Riders, and they're all gone as it goes in the last couple defenses. Still has a chance, though. He's got the World Champion, so he's still holding the sinking shield right there.
I think he gets a 3-star, it's just the time.
Time is going to be slow here. The Queen is going to pop her Archer puppet right there and surge forward. All 4 heroes are alive right now, but the World Champion will get the bulk of the defenses down here, but she's trying to hold it until right now.
RC ability. Why does he hold his RC ability every time? Use it, Damien, use it.
He pops it right there, and he does hit that last collector. And look at the time. It's still going to come in under 2 minutes. He keeps it under control. He lost all the Root Riders, but all 4 heroes make it to the finish line. And it's going to stay relatively fast, but is it fast enough? Now, the question is, United Gaming getting ready for their final attack here. Do they throw a little bit of caution to the wind, or do they play a little bit more safe? Because right now, with their time advantage, if they win this exchange, they win a difference of $10,000. They either win $20,000 or they win $10,000. So United Gaming holds advantage, and they could end it right here with a fast attack.
You got to be yelling, Damien, pop the ability, bro. What do you? Every attack he's held that RC ability. Taking a look at it, it's a big split. I had it at 40 seconds, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. So a 10-second difference on average with 4 attacks. That is going to be a 40-second split. That's what I got on my cue card here. And with 1 attack remaining, that's going to be so hard to make up. We've seen Ninja go pretty quick. Ninja will be attacking first, so Jesus will know what he has to do, but
yeah, and
Jesus is going to have to go quick, man.
Depending on the speed of what Ninja does there, that will give Jesus a chance to adjust his time. But I feel like he needs to go fast either way. But he could have another army on standby since he's had the entire 45 minutes to be able to get ready for his attack. Yeah. Or I guess he's got about 44 minutes total since the start of the war. So he could have 2 plans here. One that is going to go just full-on speed to try to catch up the time. Or he could, if Ninja misses, quickly switch to a safer army that can more consistently get it done and probably run like a Zap Lalo.
If you're able to hold Ninja to like a 2-minute attack, that's where you got to be feeling good, because then you have a little bit of wiggle room. You're down about 40 seconds. Then we've seen him do yesterday. His E-Drag attack was about 1:20, right? So yeah, if you're able to hold Ninja to about 2 minutes, that gives you a little bit of wiggle room. It's going to be tough to overcome. We know Ninja can go quick. Let me see if I have some of Ninja's times from yesterday here. Ninja did 1 minute, 19 seconds remaining, so 1:40, and that would put it at pretty much the same situation we had yesterday. We're coming in with Super Dragons with Zap, and it is a fast attack, but will we see a mistake? We do have some sweepers facing towards the Dragons. Let's see what he decides to zap here as he sends it all in.
He's got the lightning that can take out the monolith and the sweepers, but he doesn't delay he doesn't like do the lightning and then go get the dragons started. He starts the dragons and then switches over and does the lightning. Does not wait for the heroes to develop the funnel there. Funnels it on the fly, which leaves his left side funnel a little bit weak, but only 1 super dragon to split off that direction. And he does now have the blip going into the bottom of the base there with the rocket blows, kind of attacking all sides of the base here at the same time. And that's exactly what they need. Looking pretty good here overall. Everything is going smooth so far, Bash.
Short blimp for the Town Hall. The Super Dragon will be able to work through there. Those bows are set to ground, so this base is looking to counter some Root Riders. Here comes that Royal Champion with her Haste Vow.
Okay.
We got a couple rocket loons in there. Queen's working. The Dragons should have no problem thinning out this backside. It's really just, can the Queen get through these balloons and get that cannon? Oh wait, the Dragons are coming over to help out. This is looking solid. Look at the time, Eric.
Okay, I'm looking at the clock here, like passing the 1 minute mark here. He's got Ice Golems chasing down his king, but that's fine. He can deal with that. He can be solid for just a moment. RC can make her way back that direction. He's got it.
Look at the high fives.
He's got it. Looking good. Ninja might have just won them the championship with that attack. They're being lightning fast and keeping their attack speed down to an absolute bare minimum.
Eric, there's no way. There's no way.
What is the time difference?
That was 1 minute 43 seconds. They were up 40 seconds.
Oh, well, hold up. Remember what I said earlier. Remember I told you that the fastest attack that we've seen out of SE Esports in any tournament was a 57-second Electro Dragon attack. And we have seen them also hit 1 minute and 5 seconds on Root Riders.
Eric,
there's a chance.
Eric, you're talking about you need a 23
You need to like set a world record here.
You need a 23-second attack. It's not possible.
23?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like 1 minute and 23. Oh, rip.
Yeah, I mean, Ninja's attack was 1 minute 17 there.
Okay, you're fast. That's fast. That's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. That's why they're all celebrating. They know they just took.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. I think that this last attack here might just be for show as we get ready for Jesus.
Bro, this is a heartbreaker. SE Esports is perfect, and they're going to come in second place.
Yeah, imagine. Wait, did they have a single miss the entire way through the challenge? So, yeah.
Neither of these teams.
Imagine losing to United Gaming twice with Perfect Wars, and they were keeping their attack speed down to a pretty good pace as well.
But props to United Gaming. They whipped out these Super Dragons and Electro Dragons, knowing that those are the fastest attacks in the game. Yeah, Roots are quick, but when you have to go even faster than that, they were aware of it. They made the adjustment. I mean, look at the plans from today versus yesterday. They ran the Super Minion Bombs yesterday. Today, they just run straight up E-Drags, straight up Super Drags. They make the proper adjustments. They're all there in together. You know they were up late last night planning, getting everything ready, figuring out what bases they're running. Like we said, we're not looking to stop attacks. We're looking to slow attacks down.
Right.
And they have done just that. A couple of mistakes. Really, it wasn't even a big mistake, but that Lalo from Van really just kind of turned the tides.
What if the last person runs a progress base? Imagine.
Even then, can you beat a progress base in 27 seconds?
I don't think even that's possible. Wow. I mean,
Eric, let's speed run progress bases.
All right, we're on it. We're gonna figure this out. You know?
I got mine up. We'll see which of us can do a faster speed run of progress bases. We'll make it into a short or something.
That would be insane. But yeah, that's this is like they've maintained a very, very fast pace here. And when I saw how fast SE was going and the track record that they had, we were pretty sure that this was going to end up going to the double perfect war, and it's living up to the hype that we thought it would. But now it's time for one final attack here, and we're going to see if Jesus can just close out the war here as strong as possible, get the perfect war. Imagine going into an upper bracket finals, a grand finals, a Snapdragon Pro Series championship, and then you go out on a all perfect wars and still get eliminated from the competition. That's what we're looking at here.
Yeah, you haven't missed a single attack.
E-Drags, and he's gonna do everything he can, all caution to win, and maybe he can set a world record here and get the fastest attack that is absolutely ever gonna be possible. And he's going to maybe pull this off here. I don't know that it's even conceivable, but I never know.
I mean, you got to lay it all out there, at least give yourself a chance. I mean, our times are unofficial here, so, you know, we do know that there was a 40-second attack coming into, or 40-second advantage coming into the last attack, so that was official. Here he goes with the balloons, cloning up towards the town hall. Ooh, he misses the clone. Oh, boy. He misses the clone here. Oh, look at him. He knows.
Oh, no. Well,
he knew his back was up against the wall here, though.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that we have just crowned our North American champion. 7-time championship victory for Nick. A lot of the rest of the team claiming their 5th championship overall. And just some extra newcomers there like Ninja step into the team claiming his first. Like there are so many championship holders on that team, but this attack is not just gonna miss. It is shutting down unbelievably fast, and it is a massive, massive miss here for Jesus as he just had to give any chance at it, and the E-Drags are just completely stopped in their tracks.
He knew once he missed the clone on the blimp that the attack was over. I mean, he knew it was pretty much an impossible task, so he just tried to lay it all out there. He had the right idea, but unfortunately misses on there. Does save the 2-star, keeps his head up. It is technically their first miss, but ultimately it didn't matter either way, as we are going to crown our North American champions. United Gaming will win Season 4 of the Snapdragon Pro Series. Big ups to all of our teams here. Crazy, crazy performances. I know Jesus is probably like, oh, dang it, but oh man, that's just a heartbreak for them. What are you going to do there, Eric? What are you going to do?
They played as best as they can there. They played very, very well. Jesus was forced. He didn't have a choice there. He had to tried to pull out the fastest attack in this entire game. He had to take the risk on it, and there was very, very little chance that there was any even conceivable possibility that he was able to pull it back at that point there, but you gotta hand it to him. They had perfect wars all the way through the competition. Then there had his force there to just throw all caution to the wind, and he still was able to just salvage after E-Drag shutdown happened. And like that's even more crazy, because if the last attack did end up going in a lot slower there from United Gaming, then the E-Drags were going to get shut down one way or another, which is insane to think about, because, I mean, that looked like a very, very compact base, but it still ends up getting stopped up completely, Banks.
Yeah, there would have been a lot more screaming from you guys over there if that was the case, I gotta say. But with that, we have crowned our Snapdragon Pro Series champions of North America in Clash of Clans. What a phenomenal performance from United Gaming, and I've got to say, a phenomenal performance from SE Esports throughout the challenge season and all the way through into the challenge finals. I mean, we're talking, like we've mentioned time and time again, the smallest of margins, but the necessary speed and composure coming into that final match from United Gaming against a team like SE Esports that have come out of the lower bracket, you know, probably with a lot of positive energy and like of good vibes coming out of that, because they just won a match with a perfect war coming into that, and it just wasn't meant to be today. But you know, to do this on the main stage, I have to say, with all this pressure and speed being a key element as well, not only getting the triples, is so impressive, Bash.
Yeah, it was crazy impressive. I mean, even though SE Esports lost that, technically didn't get the perfect war, we know that was kind of just like, let me just throw it all out there. But these two teams came to play throughout the whole tournament. I mean, that was the first miss for either of these teams, and it was really just a consolation miss, as there's no way you can get a 27-second 3-star. It's just not possible.
What was it, Eric? Was it 27 seconds?
It was somewhere around there. It was really, really insanely fast there on the United Gaming. And they really stepped up there. Like, we saw them, they didn't even get that many perfect wars during the actual challenge phase of the tournament, and they stepped it up out of their mind. It seems like they do that every single season. It seems like every single time we see United Gaming kind of struggling a little bit there through the challenge phase, and then they get into the challenge finals, and they're just a completely different team when they're 100% focused, when their team's all together, and they are facing another championship, and they just deliver time and time again.
I just feel like it's got to be experience. Like the experience they got on that team, like you mentioned, Nick has all these championships under his belt. It's just got to be keeping your cool when like the chips are down or the stakes are high, all that kind of stuff. But you know, seeing that incredible performance from Max, putting up that really quick time, and then Rigo just answered back. We were just having swing after swing. Bash, it was just so amazing to hear you guys get hyped over there, and I was really excited by those really colorful shirts you were wearing, and I feel like I look really boring.
Yeah, you do look kind of dull for this festive event that we have here. I guess we forgot to tell you.
I didn't get the memo,
yeah,
man.
we forgot to tell you it was a floral night. Sorry, bud. You know, whip out your Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, I mean, you had a bunch of flowers on your salad you had for dinner, so that was...
I did. That was so weird, wasn't it?
That was very weird.
That was really weird. We're going to have a really quick look at the bracket as it stands, just because, you know, just as a reminder for everyone of the viewers, just to kind of remind you of the course of action that's happened over the past couple of days as well. Method to Madness placing in 4th, and then we had Underworld X placing in 3rd, taking home $6,000. Then we had SE Esports taking home 2nd place. I guess we might not be seeing the bracket, but the SE Esports taking home $10,000. Extremely impressive. And of course, our champions, United Gaming, taking home that $20,000 prize. Have you guys enjoyed yourselves over the challenge season and coming into the challenge finals? Because I mean, you guys, we're here week in, week out, really like putting in the grind, and just like, it seemed like you guys were having a great time.
Oh yeah, it's been so good. Like, Poland's been pretty much my second home the past couple months. My daughter's like, Dad, you probably know so much about Poland. You've been there so much.
Like, I know the inside of my hotel room.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the general vicinity. I know where the food is. This food is so good. Oh, it's so good.
What about yourself, Eric? Have you enjoyed yourself, man?
I have, and it's just impressive with just seeing these guys grinding this over and over in season after season here, and it's just crazy to see the same handful of players rising to the top there, and it just shows you how much skill is involved to be able to play at this level here. And that's why they have now, with Nick holding 7 championships, he has more championships than any other player in the history of this program, and that's really impressive. Like, I only have 2. I like to throw that out every once in a while. Back in my heyday, I got 2, and he's a 7. So like, I always got to throw that out there. Just back in my day.
Back in my day, before before anyone good was playing.
Ash, cutting deep. Well, we're going to have to hold you guys there. I hope you're ready to talk to our winners of the Snapdragon Pro Series, because we've got Ninja on the other end of the line, who must be absolutely ecstatic, joined by the rest of his team.
Hey.
Ninja, I've got to say, congratulations on becoming the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 4 champions. What was the energy like in the room leading up to that final attack?
Honestly, we were all pretty calm, but like when they did that fast tip from Max, we started like, we knew we had to do some air spams, you know, because like that's the only way we could counter it. So like, we locked in, you know, and at the end, we were able to come back with Rigo's hit, and then we had Agent who did a quick hit as well, and that just gave me the motivation to finish it out. And then we have our lovely crowd all around here as well.
I mean, I've got to ask, after seeing that lower bracket final, obviously going into your match, you know, did it create any nerves seeing like a perfect war? You know, they're obviously on form. SE Esports, we're going to bring it to you guys.
Absolutely not. We were expecting a perfect war regardless of what team was to emerge from the lower bracket, and we had our bases set towards that because what we tried to do was try to slow down their attacks, even because we know they're going to 3-star. So the whole strategy was going into it to like slow down their attacks so that we could be faster at the end of the day, because as we saw throughout the entire challenge finals that we've had an amazing hit rate from all the teams coming through, and we knew we had to be fast.
You guys have been absolutely fantastic throughout this entire competition. I've got to say, I'm going to give you guys the floor. Is there anything that you would like to say to your fans, your supporters, you know, who've been watching, you know, and supporting you throughout this entire challenge season and throughout the challenge finals as well?
I mean, all I want to say is that thank you for believing in us, and yeah, we're just super grateful to have you guys, and I'm super grateful for all the people here today as well, including the man behind the camera.
No.
Show him. Show him.
It's gotta be Drew's big head.
He killed the feed. Well, I've got to say, in the studio here, we're going to give a nice warm congratulations to the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 4 champions. We're going to give it up for United Gaming. That was absolutely fantastic. And a great interview from Ninja as well. Thanks very much, Ninja. You were awesome. Eric, any final words before we go home?
The champion, the reigning champion for so many seasons is recrowned here. And I guess we'll just have to see if the guys over in SC are able to get that back from them in the future. But that was a wild performance from UG Nebula, or UG Nebula. They used to be
just UG.
Yeah, just
settle
UG,
down.
right. I know, I'm getting excited. I'm so hyped right now. I'm getting excited. I'm making mistakes with my words.
Well, we're going to have a quick look at the leaderboard so that you guys can have a quick recap of everything that was going on throughout the challenge season and right the way through to now. Bash, why don't you take us through it, my friend? Look at that impressive performance from SE.
Yeah, this is our challenge season. SE Esports was undefeated, but they ultimately run up against the brick wall that was United Gaming. Underworld X came in 5-2. Method Madness squeaked in at 3-4 on our last day here, so it was really tight. It really came down to that last day to decide that fourth team. But SE Esports, they lived up to the hype. I mean, they came out with perfect war after perfect war, but United Gaming brought that experience that they have. They're very comfortable in the meta, so much so that they're able to adjust and use attacks that are so fast. I mean, that attack from Ninja was so quick. Was it a minute 17 total? Like, that's insane.
I love how much Underworld X stepped up here for the finals.
I was impressed with them this season. Like they had a really nice season.
Yeah, they had a very good season, and they hadn't performed that well in the past there, and they really stepped up their game here and played their A game.
Yeah, the season has been such a joy to watch, for sure. Everyone's stepping up their game, including you guys. You guys have been brilliant on the desk. I've been listening to you guys casting. You're absolutely fantastic, going from strength to strength. Now let's have a quick look at the bracket so that we can have a quick reminder of the path that all of our 4 teams took as they progressed into the challenge finals and throughout. Obviously, Method to Madness, they did come in, I have to say, give props where props are due. Method to Madness came into this competition swinging, and they came out with a perfect war. They just missed out on time, and then they just had the unfortunate lower bracket performance as well against Underworld X, who you guys have just been saying have really upped their game. So you know what? I feel like we truly did get the 4 best teams out of the challenge season, and they really brought it in the challenge finals. But ultimately, United Gaming going all the way through and soaring through that upper bracket. Absolutely incredible performance, taking home that $20,000 prize pool and that coveted place of the Snapdragon Pro Series series or season? What do you reckon? Season? Yeah, let's do season. Season 4 champions. Congratulations once again to United Gaming. Once again, you guys have been awesome. Thanks, Bash and Eric. All your hard work has been phenomenal. It's It's always great to work with you guys, and I hope to see you very soon. Production team, you've been fantastic, working tirelessly to create the best show for everyone here. It truly has been an honor to work with all of you. The pro players, thank you so much for putting in all that hard work and putting on such a spectacle for everyone, and putting on that spectacle for those viewers at home. Thank you so much to all of you for keeping this all going and watching and supporting your favorite clans throughout the competition. We're going to be seeing you very, very soon, and my name is Banks, and I've had such a pleasure here. Thank you so much to the Snapdragon Pro Series. We'll see you soon.
Congrats, UG!
Congrats, UG!
You didn't let me get my congrats in! So rude, Banks, so rude. Congrats, UG.
Got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show. Everything raw, give it to me now. Let me have the spot, man, it's going down. Gotta get it here, I don't wanna wait. Take what I want, then I go train. Gotta get a win, I won't lose the game. This is my year, I ain't gonna break. Strap in, cause it's gonna be a long ride. Working on me every single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. I don't got the time, put me in, coach. I've been going hard, time to let it show.